Albert Insurance Buckeye Postgame Show continues on the Ohio State Sports Network. Presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State athletics. Now, alongside former Buckeye Justin Zwick, here's your host, Brandon Beam.
It's a great day to be a Buckeye. Ohio State goes out to Seattle, Washington, and emerges victorious in their first road game of the season, 24-6. I am Brandon Beam. He is Justin Zwick. Jay-Z, happy college football Saturday to you, my friend. What's going on?
Hey,
good to talk to you.
Happy Big Ten season. First Big Ten game of the year. We go out and get it done, huh? How about that?
It feels pretty good, right?
It does. We heard all week long was how many points this offense scores for Washington, how hard it is to play out there, and in the end, they scored 6 points, and I think they had more false starts on offense than we did. So, it wasn't a great game. It didn't look awesome, but Ryan's talked about it all year long. Just go win. All we got to do is win. And, going on the road, first Big Ten, a lot of firsts for these young guys, having to deal with the plane ride and the extra day out there and, just everything that goes with it, to come out of this with a win and, feeling decent about yourself and you're healthy for the most part as a team. That's you can't ask for anything more.
To your point, the beginning of the game was crazy.
It was just wild.
I was fully anticipating maybe like a false start for Ohio State. Again, like you're trying to get your feet under you. It's your first road game. They were talking it up, like even going back to the spring. Some Huskies fans were feeling, pretty fired up on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. And they were excited. They had something to be excited about. I think that's a really good football team in Washington. But the beginning of the game, I think we always talk about this in big games, Justin, how it's a tight line. It's a very razor thin line of being too amped up and being amped up enough to go out there and do exactly what you need to do. They were over the line. Washington was at the beginning of the game.
1,000%. That was just mind blowing what was going on there with just all the coaches sideline penalties, coaches penalties, just like we're supposed to be the ones that are a little out of sorts, and it felt like they were. At the beginning of that game, it took me back to OU though. It's just we did everything we needed to do. Got to 3 it out. Boom, we get the ball. We go right down the field. 4th and 1. We get stuck again,
And then you force a 3 and out. That's when all the penalties has happened. Then you get the punt return. Brandon Innes
finally had a nice punt
return. And then he coughs the ball up. You give them a little bit of momentum. They kind of settle down a little bit. They kick a field goal. And then really that was kind of it for their offense today. Again, 234 total yards for Washington, 173 through the air, 61 on the ground. A lot of that negated by Damon Williams being sacked 6 times. For 46 yards of losses. And, again, Justin, we knew that this offense was really good. Number 1 offense in college football coming in to the football game. They had punted twice all year. Ryan Day joked about it a little bit earlier in his press conference this week. It's don't have a lot of punt coverage. Their first punt was a shank. Second one was returned pretty good, but they were explosive. And you went out there and basically, dinged them up, man. 6 points. No, not a team yet. You're 4 games into the season. You've got 8 games left to go in the regular season. Not one team has scored double-digit points against this Buckeye defense so far.
And hats off to Matt Patricia and Larry Johnson to this game plan they came up with. We talked to Joshua Perry on Wednesday, and he was kind of like, I would have Arvell rushing him right away, make that quarterback make a decision on whether he wants to stay in the pocket or if he wants to, get out and run. And we kind of went in with a whole different idea. Let's just all rush as one, keep that wall right in front of him, and just kind of build around him and then spy on the outside. So if he does break through, but what a game by that defensive line and linebackers. Sonny Arvell just cleaning him up. Yep. They did a great job spying all day long. And then, Caden Curry, what a monster out there today.
It was his best game by far.
Yeah, Buckeye, he's been playing great this year, but he really showed out today. And that defensive line, young Will Smith getting in there. We just able to rotate some guys through, and they play great. Nobody got out of their assignment. It felt like they all just did what they were supposed to do. They weren't rushing hard, trying to make that be the hero. They were playing team ball out there, and it showed. And gosh, to hold a team that was averaging 58 points a game to 6 in their home stadium.
Not an easy environment to do it in.
I think these Silver Bullets are pretty legit.
Yeah, you could tell from the very beginning what the game plan was, and there was a lot of talk coming into this game, what would it be? Are you going to rush? Or are you going to throw some exotics at him and kind of make him break the pocket? I think it was pretty apparent. We'll talk to linebackers coach James Laurinatis here in our next segment, and he'll break it down a little bit more for you. But I think it was very apparent. I think it was snap number 1 maybe, where you see Arvell take a step up, and then he kind of drops back, and his eyes are right in the backfield. Damon Williams tries to get out of there, And
the crazy thing is he's just as athletic as that quarterback.
And he's fast. Like, he can make a move. And then Arvell and Sonny, when they're running flat, trying to catch him on an angle, they tracked him down. That kid, heck of a quarterback. A great player. But he just went into a buzzsaw today. He hadn't seen anything like what Ohio State was able to put on him. And it was just a great outing by them, and the offense got it done. I think it felt pragmatic.
Well, it felt like Texas again in that first half a little bit when things started going. Oh boy, they're not going to let him throw the ball. We're running on first and second. It just felt like we're protecting him. And then boom, we go in, have a talk at halftime, come out, and we go boom, Jeremiah. And we're just moving right down the field, and just trying to get people involved. And I think really trusting that Julian, we can trust him.
Yeah.
It's a big game. We didn't push the ball downfield per se, but we didn't need to. And we don't need to. We have these athletes, just get the ball in their hand and let them do their work.
Yeah, Julian Sands today, 22 of 28, 208 yards, 2 touchdowns, 79% completion percentage, which is
right on
about his going rate for the entire season. So I thought it was a pretty good day from the offense. Again, some things you need to clean up. Ryan Day was talking about that in his postgame press conference and with Paul and Jim right here. But I think one of the bigger stories that we have to talk about, and we talked about it a little bit here this week, the emergence of Bo Jackson. 17 carries, which doubled up C.J. Donaldson. He had 9. 17 carries, 80 yards. You can tell it's there, Jay-Z. I know that you've been in offenses like this, and you can tell a good running back, but 17 carries, I think tells you the entire story.
Well, I think anybody watching the last few games has thought to themselves, this kid should be playing.
He's a little bit different.
Something's different about when he gets through, a small little hole. Like, it's not just like, oh, they're playing second teamers. There's huge holes out there. He's just running through them. No, he's working, and he's finding just the smallest little creeks, and he's just something different about him. So, the more he comes along, because I'm sure there's some probably trust issues there with a young guy, pass protection, and just knowing exactly what he needs to be doing,
that,
which
right?
there is 1,000%. But the more experience he gets and the more he's into this season, the more, if he's picking it up, which I think he is, the 17 carries today tells me that, they're starting to trust him a little bit more. I'd be surprised if, in the next few games, he's not, our star back or feature back,
Sure.
Starting the game. You're still going to rotate these guys. They're all good. It's just something about Bo that he's always falling forward. He's, dragging people, with him. And, I just love how hard he runs.
What did you think of Julian's accuracy today? Because I thought it was pretty spot on. There were a couple of throws there towards the boundary. Max Clare had a nice catch on the far sideline. I don't know if it was second down or third down. There was a nice ball to Carnell Tate, NFL catch, 2 feet down on the sidelines. It seemed to me, Jay-Z, that, and again, you're watching the quarterback a little bit different than I am, but my analysis of it, he's putting the ball exactly where he needs to.
That's how I feel, and it's almost like if he doesn't complete it, it's like, he's probably throwing that one away. He just didn't love what he because when he does want to get it to somebody and they're open, he makes it easy. We've talked about it before. He just lays that ball right in their chest, and he's so accurate with it. So, I think he's answered everything that we could ask of him, this year so far. I think 4 games in, I understand it's early, but big game against Texas. Guy played. He was the better quarterback on the field.
Yes,
there.
He was.
Going out there today against this awesome offense, I think he was the better quarterback out there. He just puts the ball where it needs to be, and he's so quick about making decisions. And even today, he had to run around a little bit in the pocket, so we saw him moving a little bit.
He didn't have as much time. I think one of the bigger things that I came away impressed with was Washington's defense. And I know that their offense got a lot of hype coming into the game. I'm like, that's a good football team. Again, this 24 points. I know that they shot themselves in the foot here in the first quarter. They could have had a couple of touchdowns. I think they maybe left some points out on the board. But all in all, I think it was a pretty good day at the office for Julian.
I think their defense was definitely better than what we were giving them credit for. And, we did what had to be done, but Julian had 12 yards rushing. We saw him pull the ball down, try and get a first down.
He's close.
That kind of stuff is going to give him more confidence to do it more often. He sees man. Oh, I'm back here. I don't like what I'm seeing. They're in man. I'm going to take off and go get a couple yards. That's a huge help for an offense. And the one time, it got down to 4th and 1, and we didn't pick it up, but we wouldn't have been in that position if he wouldn't have been able to scramble and get that for us.
Yeah, I think you could see the athleticism for sure. Again, defensive side of the football, you mentioned it. Caden Curry today, unbelievable game. Game of his career, game of his life maybe. 11 tackles for him, 9 of them solo, 3 sacks, 5 TFLs, and then his running mate on the inside, Cade McDonald, with another monster game. You could tell the size difference between him and Damon Williams. Damon Williams listed at 5'11". I don't know what K-Mac is listed as, but
his arm's about as big as that quarterback.
One time, Damon Williams tried to break the pocket, run right through the middle. K-Mac stuck that big left arm out. He's like, nope, you're going to go back 6 yards.
As he's falling down, he somehow throws another athlete backwards as someone's tackling him. It was incredible. IGB, actually, I thought played a really good game, too. I mean, he had a lot of nice tackles, came up on a few and kept him from getting first downs. You know, he's a guy who came back, and I think he wanted to improve his draft stock a little bit. And if he's going to start putting that on film week in and week out, I think that'll help. Yeah,
I think it was a really good effort today. Again, 6 points allowed against the number one offense in college football. You're going to take that. Again, the final score today from Seattle, Buckeyes dispatched the Huskies 24-6. Coming up next, we're going to be joined by Ohio State's linebackers coach, James Laurinatis. As the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show continues on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our lower prices. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
AgPro has been family owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
You can join us Thursday at noon for the next Ryan Day Show presented by Roosters. If you got questions about today's game or the upcoming matchup against Minnesota, you can submit them via X at OSU Coach or go to OhioStateBuckeyes.com. Click on the Ryan Day Show inbox icon. Again, the final score today, Buckeyes beat the Huskies 24-6 for the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. Growing up in the family business, I've seen firsthand the joy and love that comes with finding the perfect engagement ring. For over 77 years, our family's been dedicated to providing the best quality, unmatched selection, and the guaranteed best price. From timeless classics to custom designs, we have the perfect ring for every love story. Let our family help you celebrate the moments that mean the most. Visit Diamond Cellar today on Salmo Road or at Easton Town Center.
Nobody has more all-wheel drive or electrified hybrid choices than Toyota, including the best-selling Camry. It's all hybrid all the time with available all-wheel drive. Now through September 30th, get 4.75 APR financing on any new 25 Camry or lease a Camry LE from just $279 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Buckeye fans expect a certain standard. That's true of the food they share on game day too, which is why Giant Eagle is always part of the game plan. With fresh, high-quality food and everyday savings, it's easy to tailgate like a champ or feed the ravenous fans at home. For long touchdown runs and effortless grocery runs, Giant Eagle is here. Giant Eagle, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Buckeye football lives here. The Fan. This is the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show on the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Back here on the postgame show, Buckeyes get it done in their first road trip of the season, 24-6 victory over the Huskies of Washington. We are now joined by linebackers coach James Laurinatis. Coach, first and foremost, congratulations on the victory. I would say that the game plan worked pretty well today. Your defense was flying around the football field.
They were. The guys were locked in. We knew the plan was you had to try to control. They had some really good backs, and number two, their quarterback was. Like, when you watch him, all you saw was Kyler Murray. He was a guy that was lethal, made stuff happen. And to be honest, we had our guys' attention. We had wide receivers, as him during the week on scout team. And so I think it was a good job by our guys giving a good look, and they had a really good plan.
Coach, all week long we heard about how loud it was going to be out there, and actually on Wednesday we talked to Joshua Perry, and he was mentioned how at the wideout and when it's loud like that, the defense has a tough time on the sidelines because they're trying to get their adjustments and talk to their coaches. Give us a feeling about how the crowd was out there today. Was it hard for you guys when we were on offense and you're trying to make changes or talk to your guys on the sideline with that noise going on? Did that create any kind of havoc? And just give us a little feel for the atmosphere.
Well, the atmosphere is great. I mean, we played here in 2007, so anytime you pull over the lake and you see we call it the sailgate. You got the people on the boats, and they're tailgating out there. It's a great scene. But when you get into the stadium and you saw all Buckeye Nation, there was a lot of scarlet in the crowd, So it was really good to see that. And it was loud at a few moments, but it didn't compare to Oregon, a year ago. I'll say that. So it wasn't really that loud for us defensively to make adjustments on the sideline. The guys were really prepared. They had a good look in their eye, and they were ready to go out there and get the job done.
He is linebackers coach James Laurinatis with us here on the postgame show. Coach, 6 sacks today, 9 TFLs. There were no turnovers, really clean game defensively. You weren't getting a ton of pressure, but you obviously got 6 sacks. I know that you were probably trying to force Damon Williams into making a play with his feet, but I got to say the rush lanes were pretty impressive today.
Well, yeah, you have to be very disciplined in your rush lanes when you play a guy like this, right? Like, you have to realize that you can't get too far upfield. You have to be able to have a good vision on the quarterback. And so it was a really good job, of our guys being disciplined and executing the game plan. So I think that's the really good thing about our guys is that, they're bought in, and Coach Patricia did a really good job detailing the game plan. And so it was the guys bought into it, and you knew that you couldn't get too far upfield. You had to stay in front of them. And I think when that happens, when Williams doesn't have those deep shots downfield, then his eyes drop and he didn't really have any escape lanes to go.
James, you guys have been really good in the red zone this year, red zone defense. I mean, you send a bend not break type thing. I mean, you've been there. What's the difference being in that red zone that ratchets things up a little bit, and you guys just always seem to get a hold or get a stop, when you're down there?
I think honestly, it's a mentality. When you're down there, you just have to be locked in, and we do such a good job preparing our guys for what's coming down there low in the red zone, and really it's the leadership of our guys and it's their attitude, right? Like, it's a mentality of it's one play at a time. You got to be locked into your keys, and just because they're down there doesn't mean that, hey, it's the end of the world, right? Those are 4-point plays down there.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say you guys probably win in the red zone in practice, because we still had some struggles there today on the offensive side, huh?
Well, not every time, to be honest. I mean, when you go against our offense, you're going against one of the most talented offenses,
for sure.
I think. And so it's like you get really good work, and we get that every Wednesday in practice, and our guys are locked in. But we've always have a really good plan down there, because those are the critical situations. And I think our guys are, when you have a guy that comes from the NFL and Coach Patricia, and so much of the game in the NFL is situational football, right? So when you focus so much on those situations, whether it be third down, whether it be 2-minute, whether it be red zone, our guys have a really good understanding of what is going to happen. Like, how are you going to get attacked? And when you have that, we were able to kind of lock in on what plays can kind of beat you and what we're trying to defend, and our guys have bought into it.
I think you have some experience with that too, Coach.
Yeah, just a little bit. Come on now.
I think, come on. You don't want to bury the lead, all right? But you definitely have experience. No, you're not. Coach, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here. Have safe travels back. What time do you think you're getting back tonight or tomorrow morning at some point?
No, it'll definitely be tomorrow morning for sure.
Always appreciate it, Coach. Thanks for the time. Safe travels back. Big congratulations. We'll check in again soon, okay?
Anytime, guys.
There he goes. Linebackers coach James Laurinatis with us here on the postgame show. Yeah, I mean, I know that all these coaches talk about Matt Patricia and his NFL experience, and we can also talk about, the NFL experience across the board, Justin, for this entire coaching staff. James never wants to talk about himself. It's okay to do it. He's so humble. He is the leading tackler for an NFL franchise. Like that's a real thing.
No big deal. Yeah. And his room is just playing out, out of their, what. I mean, I know this is amazing.
A fun conversation that we have like during the week. I honestly don't know if you had to rank the position groups in order. I don't know who you would put at number one, the best position group on this team. Linebackers have a strong argument to make. Tight ends, I think, have a really strong argument to make.
Receivers,
I know, right?
Safeties.
Who do you?
I mean, what do you do?
That's a nice. That's an
off-season. That's an off-season conversation.
Yeah, it's not
you're looking for something.
Yeah, it's not a mid-season conversation. 24-6 as the Buckeyes get it done. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Your home of the Ohio State Buckeyes. WBNS FM HD1 Columbus. Sports Radio 97.1 The Fan.
Again, the final score today from Seattle. Buckeyes go across the country and take it to Washington 24-6. Coming up next, we're going to check your scoreboard. We got a lot of big games going on here right now. We'll do that from across the country as the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show continues on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President, and Eugene Smith, Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
Hey, Buckeye fans, it's Paul Keels for Window Nation. Columbus, did you know you can get 2 free tickets to an upcoming Ohio State football game if you replace all the windows in your home with Window Nation? This month, they're offering 50% off all window styles, plus no payments for 2 whole years. That's right, no down payment, no monthly payments, and no interest until 2027. Get big savings, plus 1-day installation with Window Nation, a proud partner of Ohio State Athletics. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com today.
The future of recycling is now at Rumpke Waste and Recycling. The recycling leader has opened North America's largest, most technologically advanced recycling center right here in Central Ohio. This one-of-a-kind facility features interactive displays, educational opportunities, and the ability to process over 60 tons of recycled material per hour. Rumpke is committed to recycling and sustainability efforts, and for more than 90 years, Rumpke has worked to make sure the items you place in your recycling bin get used again. Visit Rumpke.com to learn how you can team with Rumpke to put less trash in our landfills and more of it to good use.
The Fan. Ohio sports destination.
You can join us Monday night at 6 p.m. for our next Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King. Our broadcast team of Big Daddy Paul Keels, Jim Lachey, Skip Mossick. They're going to break down today's game and preview the upcoming matchup with Minnesota. That's Buckeye Roundtable Monday night from 6 to 8 p.m. Again, the final score today from Seattle. Buckeyes travel west, take down the Huskies 24-6. More of the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
At Ohio State, we are the never afraid to innovate teams, the agile, get it done teams, the achieve more together teams, and the improve people's lives teams. Together, we are the Ohio State University.
Learn more about Ohio State at osu.edu/impact.
The Donato's Pep Duo Pizza is back, and it brought a pal. The Donato's Pep Duo, loaded with crispy pepperoni and 3 kinds of cheese. Now get a large Pep Duo pizza for just $14.99. Also back, Donato's deliciously dippable pepperoni cheese bread. Now on the $5 Pizza Pals menu for a limited time. More toppings, more flavor, more fun.
Donato's. Gotta love more.
The great thing about Atlas Butler is they do it all. Heating, cooling, plumbing. Look, I'm busy with work. I don't have time to wait around or deal with lots of people. One company, one call, and they do it all. Wonder if they'll clean out my inbox. Seriously, offer that service. Please.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan. Now back to the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show on the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State athletics.
Back here on the postgame show, Buckeyes get it done 24-6 over Washington. We're implementing a new system here at the radio station. Ted, I know you're shaking your head back there. You're doing a fantastic job today.
You're doing great.
You thought Julian Sayin was under duress a little bit, or maybe Damon Williams? Those guys know no pressure. No. Our guy, Panama Ted Holbrook, tonight is running around like his hair's on fire.
I don't even have any idea what he does back there, but it's a new system, and I imagine it's very hard because there's a lot of different things. A lot of these little switches and everything else going on.
Yeah, like it's easy over here. Yeah. What we're doing back there, though, he's controlling everything. It's a tough day. You've done a very good job today, Ted. It's an A. We'll improve upon it. It'll be all good. Buckeyes 24-6. I will say this, though, and I know that we just talked to James and had some good fun with him, as we usually do here on the postgame show, linebackers coach for Ohio State. I think we're kind of running out of superlatives to talk about this Ohio State defense, and I know it was a big topic in the offseason. Matt Patricia, he hasn't been in college in a long time. Like, how is this going to look? Like, can you, I don't want to say dumb it down for college players, but it's a different level coming from the NFL to college. First month of the season in, Jay-Z, it's a smashing success.
It is a home run.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like it's dumbed down at all. I mean, it almost feels like it's more complicated, but maybe he just teaches it in a more simple way than what we were used to in the past, because they are doing so many different things with so many different people, and they're all somehow able to stay on the same page and just really understand what the coaches are trying to get after. So, whatever he's done, James talked about, there's the situational awareness and really drilling down on things and understanding where they can attack you and what they like to do in certain situations. I think that goes a long way for when we are in those red zone, type plays. And, they just attention to detail on everything they do. They did a study to when should we travel? I mean, it's just like this coaching staff thinks about everything. Yeah, I think it's just awesome, how much thought they put into it. And, it's a big time deal to go on the road and, be different for these guys and to go out and get a good win. What was nice. But, the defense, man, they answered some questions for me today because, I always think back in that Texas game, like there was some
putting up 58 points a game.
Exactly. It's like, all right, we'll see. We're going up against good offense here, and then you hold them to 6 points when really, that first half they could have got 14. Yep. It was just kind of like a weird deal, and they bend but don't break, and you give up 3 and you get to 1 on a fake field goal. We get to stop.
They didn't know what was going on. That tight end who they were like throwing the football to.
But that's when you have them, because like you guys could have went up 6-0, but that's not enough, and so you're trying to do a fake field goal here.
I know you and I were joking around too about Caleb. We're like, it's a quiet day for him. I'm like, if we're watching the like all 22 film or like coaches breakdown, he's probably eliminating half of the football field. Like with what he is doing and patrolling all over the place. But it's a good win from the Buckeyes today. Again, 24-6. They're not the only ones that were playing today, though. It's a pretty awesome weekend for sports. Got the Ryder Cup going on, Jay-Z. I know you're a big golfer. I'm a big golfer. We don't need to talk about that. Yeah. Tough day for the Americans yet again. But it was a terrific, and I think is setting up for a terrific Saturday night. But it's the slate today, sometimes, and this as a college football fan, sometimes the slate, maybe not.
Yeah, there's not, it doesn't pique your interest when you see the game.
Like last week was a good week for Ohio State to have off. There wasn't anything crazy going on. Last night's game were bonkers. Florida State going to Virginia and losing. The quickest field rush of all time. That ball hit the ground, and it seemed that there
got lost under that.
100,000 people just immediately on the football field. So that was good, and you've had a nice little slate so far to start your day. We'll start you in the top 25, little finals from a little bit earlier. Last night, Virginia took down Florida State 46-38, double overtime. Arizona State surviving against TCU at home 27-24. Those were your finals from last night. Did you have an eyeball on Notre Dame today and what they were doing on offense?
I didn't catch Notre Dame today. No, I had a 8th grade volleyball game I had to go to.
The only thing that they did today when they
smoked
were
somebody, I know
visiting Arkansas.
Yeah, Arkansas.
431 passing yards. 4 passing touchdowns for C.J. Carr, and then also added 210 yards on the ground. That was good for 641 total yards for the Fighting Irish as they hammer Sam Pittman and the Arkansas Razorbacks 56-13.
Yeah, that was surprising. I mean, that's what happens with Notre Dame, though, huh? They typically lose an early one, and then they just start to figure it out. And man, that's a ton of points, and that was a close spread in that game.
Yeah.
I know that going into it.
Yeah, Notre Dame's had their issues to start the season,
yeah,
right?
But I mean, they seem to have been finding some answers now. I mean, you're scoring that kind of points, it makes you feel good. I did catch a little bit of the Illinois game, which they had a nice bounce back.
They did have a nice bounce back. Big Noon was there. USC and Lincoln Riley complaining about kickoff times. They were playing the 11 p.m. slot last week. They get the 11 a.m. Central start. So kind of eliminated a day for them. Here's how this one ended. Brian Barnhart from Learfield.
The snap, the hold, the kick, in the air, end over end, and it's good! It is good! Victory, Illinois! David Alano being mobbed by his teammates. The Illini win it 34-32.
That was a crazy football game. I had my eyeballs on that a little bit earlier. 34-32. Illinois, like you mentioned, after last week getting absolutely smoked by Indiana. 34-32 victors. A nice top 25 win for the Fighting Illini.
Caught a little bit of the P.J. Fleck row the boat up in Minnesota, too, with them coming in next week. Saw that, so they ended up getting a close win. Fourth quarter, both quarterbacks were slinging that ball around a little bit.
Yes, they were.
So, maybe some confidence for the old Gophers coming into Columbus next week.
3-1, primetime slot for them. They took down Rutgers 31-28 a little bit earlier on as well. Keeping the Big Ten, shall we? Big top 25 game. Indiana, after just hammering Illinois last week, going on the road to Kinnick. Not an easy place to play. Indiana emerges victorious 20-15. The Hoosiers 5-0 on the season.
How about it, huh? I thought they'd be a one-hit wonder, and apparently they're not. I mean, after last week, they kind of, that really jumped on the scene with the way they took care of Illinois last week, and then, coming back, and that is a tough place to play over there, and any win's a good win when you're playing Iowa.
Yeah, and they got it done, 20-15. Low-scoring affair, as is typical for Iowa football, but they did manage to get out of there. Overtime game, Georgia Tech takes down Wake Forest 30-29 in overtime. Close game in the top 10 from a little bit earlier. Texas A&M hangs on 16-10 to take down the Tigers of Auburn. And then a big one. Again, told you it was a pretty nice looking slate today. You had Brian Kelly and the number 4 ranked LSU Tigers on the road to take on Lane Kiffin and the running Rebs down there. Ole Miss 24, LSU 19. Ole Miss moves to 5-0 on the season. Hands Brian Kelly and the LSU Tigers their first loss of the year, 24-19 final in that one.
I wonder if they hit the over, because didn't Lane tweet that after his daughter and that linebacker sent out that picture?
Yeah, Mr. Weeks, the linebacker.
He said, take the over.
Whit Weeks, I think is his name. Yeah. And they hard launched their relationship. Yeah. Lane Kiffin's daughter dating the linebacker of LSU. They announced it formally on social media. Earlier this week, and Lane's sitting there on Twitter.
Yeah, why not? I don't have anything better to do. I'm going to jump on Twitter and tweet about my daughter and her boyfriend, telling everybody to take the over.
Yeah, take the L.
We're coming after them.
Take the L back to Baton Rouge with you. Games from the from the Big Ten a little bit earlier on. UCLA, after firing Deshaun Foster, did not improve. Northwestern 17, UCLA 14. UCLA now 0-4 on the season.
Yeah, there's no rallying out there in UCLA for the Bruins, huh?
I don't think there
typically
is.
When your coach gets fired, he lights a little fire maybe, and you get a little spark. But going down to Northwestern, I think it was 17-0 at one point too, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it may have been not as close as the score made it out to be, but hey. Welcome to the Big Ten.
Have a good time, right?
Have fun.
Games going on right now in the top 25. Missouri on top of UMass in the first quarter, 7-6. And that we'll get to the big ones here in a second. Number 14, Iowa State at home against Arizona. They're up 15-0. over them. And then this game in overtime right now, I don't know if it just went final or what's going on. Tennessee 41, Mississippi State 34. They're currently in overtime, in the first overtime. So I'll keep you up to date if we do have a final that goes in that one. But Mississippi State trying to go to 5-0 in the season. All right, let's get to the feast for this evening. Both games, nothing, but a fantastic slate for the evening, Jay-Z. Oregon and Penn State, whiteout. Alabama at Georgia. Both games, 0-0. The whiteout game is one of the coolest things that we've got in college football.
I agree with you. Got to be there for two of them when I was at Ohio State, and they are special.
Yeah.
That fan base, those students, I mean, when you see them rush in, I mean, during warm-ups, because it's just like a free-for-all.
Yeah.
And you see the kids just sprinting down trying to get to the front, and it's just like, oh my gosh. The energy they bring the entire game is special. We were 1-1, I think, in those two games, but it's a fun atmosphere. That stadium is something to see.
I don't know how many points the whiteout is good for, but it's more than 0.
Exactly.
And it's good for probably about, and you and I were arguing about the number, 15.
Yeah, I think it's over under 50, about an average of 15 yards in penalties, I bet.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And the first possession for Oregon, they had a big 4th and 1, and then had a false start. So then they had to go back, and then they had to punt the ball. Oregon with the ball right now on the 40-yard line of Penn State. Quarterback got absolutely hammered. He's short on 4th down. Penn State's going to get the football back. And then in the Alabama-Georgia game, Alabama currently driving on Georgia around the 6-yard line. Ryan Williams, fantastic wide receiver, had a big touchdown drop just a little bit ago.
12 drops on the year.
12 drops on the season for Ryan Williams, which is the most in college football.
I mean, most receivers probably don't even have 12 catches or 12 chances, and he's got 12 drops. That's not good.
Yeah, so both those games tied 0-0. Great slate that we've got here for this evening. A little bit earlier in the MAC as well. I want to make sure that we cover those guys. Toledo, 45, Akron 3, Miami of Ohio 38, Lindenwood 0. And then good game. I had this on the quad box on a little bit earlier as well. The Bobcats of OU taking down former Buckeye Eddie George and the Falcons of Bowling Green 35-20 in the MAC.
Yeah, OU's good football team now. Good football team.
They are a good football team. Again, the final score today from Husky Stadium out in Seattle. Buckeyes take the Huskies of Washington down 24-6. Coming up next, we're going to hear from head coach Ryan Day as the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show continues on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
When you're here, you understand what it means to be a Buckeye. And at Elk & Elk, we're proud to wear scarlet and gray every Saturday. Every client, every day, means if you're ever injured, we're proud to stand with you in court. And when you're here at the shoe, we're proud to stand with you and cheer on the Buckeyes.
Whether we're here at the big game or in court, we are committed to you.
Elk & Elk, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our lower prices. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
Your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan.
Next Saturday, Ohio State hosts the Golden Gophers of Minnesota. We're going to be on the air with the AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show beginning at 6 p.m. Again, the final score today, Buckeyes 24, Huskies 6. More of the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Tailgate like a champ with Giant Eagle. What you eat on game day is as important as what happens on the field. Whether you're watching from the stadium or from home, Giant Eagle has everything you need to get ready for kickoff. Get prepared foods in a flash. Grab enough snacks and drinks to feed an entire team and stack your cart with fresh groceries like grill-ready meat and seafood. Giant Eagle, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, getting ahead in this world is not as complicated as it might seem. Having the early guidance and counsel of your community banker, one who knows you and your family's story, can make a great deal of difference. Relationships matter. Bank on community banking. I'm Scott McComb. Coming over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is the Encova Insurance Buckeye Postgame Show on the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Tate and Clare wide left. Innocent Smith wide right. Donaldson to the right of Julian Sand in the shotgun. 3rd and 11, Ohio State at Washington's 18. Center Carson Minsman over the ball. Julian Sand gets the snap. Back to throw with some pressure coming. Throws middle of the field. Caught by Smith, lifting left side to the 10, to the 5, and into the end zone on a 13-yard touchdown catch. Sand hits Julian Smith, who moved from the middle of the field, slipped out to the left, and Ohio State gets their first score and has their first lead, 6-0.
It was a fantastic play call by Brian and Ryan there to drag Jeremiah Smith across the field like that. And you needed something to happen, Jay-Z, and I don't know if it was you wanted to put Jeremiah Smith in the slot, like kind of what you wanted to do there, but they said, we think we can find a weak spot here, and we need to get the ball to number 4, and they did that, and he made the rest happen.
Yeah, that first half just seemed like they were trying to take him away, and it's like, what can we do to get him in this game, get him in the flow, and then I was looking at the tight end running the seam, on that play, like, all right, what's he going to do here? We need some yards. And then all of a sudden, Jeremiah's just coming right. I mean, what a beautiful play call. I just, they knew what they were going to get there probably, and just like, we're going to bring him underneath us. And they had Donaldson out there lead blocking for him. Like, it was just perfect. Right time for the call, and what a big play.
And Mr. Donaldson also had a nice little touchdown grab, which was a fantastic possession. Kind of put the dagger
That's
away.
Like, do we kick a field goal? Nah, we're close enough. We're going to go for it. And then it's like, what do we do, though?
We were all having fun in the studio. Like, what do? You kick here? You go up 14, or do you try to take a shot?
I'm like quarterback sneak it.
Yeah. I think I was joking around. I'm like, just fade. Fade to number 4.
Like, throw a fade.
You and Ted were looking at me like, no, don't do that. And then they found C.J. Donaldson. So all in all, pretty good day out at the office for the Buckeyes. Defense, we've talked about it a lot here on this post-game show, but anytime you hold a team to 1 of 11 on 3rd down, it's certainly something to be excited about. And here was Ryan Day on the efficiency of their defense today on 3rd down.
It starts with 1st and 2nd down, trying to get them into 3rd and long, but it's playing situational football, and the way that we're playing now, and most teams are playing, they huddle, we huddle, you're not going to get as many plays. You're talking about 53 and 62. So it's not a lot of football. So that means the percentage of plays is going to be a lot situational. And so we've got to be great in the situations. And it's something we worked hard in the preseason. Certainly Matt and the defensive staff understand that part of it and work hard at it. We do as a team. But that really what it comes down to in understanding, your opponent. Now, it's always about us, but you got to understand how they're trying to attack us. And a big part of it was stopping the run on 1st and 2nd down and forcing them into 3rd and either 3rd medium, 3rd long situations.
I thought it was interesting this week listening to him and talking about kind of what his week looks like and how much he scouts an opposing offense. And again, like we know that him and Brian Hartline and the offensive staff, we think about what he does offensively. He's the head coach of the football team, so he wants to talk to his defensive coaches at the same time and be like, hey, if I was the offense going against you guys and I'm watching their film, this being Washington, this is maybe what I'll do. And I don't know how much he had control of the game plan this week defensively. I'm sure that was a Matt Patricia thing, and we heard from Coach Laurinatis a little bit earlier on in the postgame show. Whoever it was a masterpiece today.
Yeah, I'm sure he has his, thoughts that he gives, Matt. And he might actually have a lot of confidence in it because it seems like something last year around playoff time or after the Oregon game kind of flipped.
Yeah, I'm
on that defense side.
Rooms.
So maybe he's used to giving some input and, really having those guys think about what he says and take it serious. But I think he has, total trust in Matt Patricia and what he's doing and his staff. Yeah. I think they have an all-star staff. And, I think, he's going to definitely poke his head in and just, give his thoughts. But I think, the experience that Matt Patricia has, just, all the places he's been is, something that Ryan feels really comfortable in just saying, go out and, just take care of business. You're going to have your guys ready to play.
I thought this was interesting, too, from Coach Day during his post-game press conference, in that the defense is so good that it actually allows the offense to develop maybe slower than what we're used to, or having a 2 or 3 year quarterback. Here was his answer on that.
Well, I think it's important that we continue to grow on offense and figure out where the identity of this team is and where it's going. I think it's something that we'll work on week to week. But when you have a defense that is playing the way it is right now, you can play with confidence, knowing that you don't have to score every single possession. You can control the clock and, play it, I wouldn't say more conservative, but, you understand time, score, and situation.
I think he immediately followed that up and said, we'd like to score on every offensive possession, but sometimes the defense maybe just doesn't give it to you.
See, I'm on the other side of things. He's like, we can play a little more conservative because we know our defense is going to be like, let's take some more shots because we know our defense is really good. Like, if we have a turnover, we're putting this awesing defense on the field. They're going to they're going to get us the ball back or give up 3 points maybe. So I look at it the different way. But in all seriousness, it's just you want to win and you don't care how it looks or what it's like getting par in a golf game. You don't care how it looks as long as you got in 4 or whatever that number is.
Doesn't tell a story, right?
Exactly. So a win is a win. They went out and got it done against a good team. I think they should be a top 25 team.
Agreed.
It was a cool atmosphere, I'm sure. They were pumped, ready to go for a big upset.
And a lot of Scarlet.
Ohio State, man, they travel well, and Buckeyes are everywhere.
Yes, they are.
All across the country. They show up big, and, I'm sure the alumni club out that way was having a heck of a week this week, getting everybody together and getting them at the game, and what a cool experience.
Absolutely. Seems like an awesome place to take in a football game. Here's one more from Ryan Day. What about the resilience that they showed this team did really when they got kind of behind the pace a little bit?
Man, the middle 8, that's it. So many games are won and lost in the middle 8. So for us to score there and then come back before you turn, it's 14-7. And, we're going to look back on this first quarter and just, get sick because but that's football too. And that's on the road. And I got to tell you, when you wake up in the morning and you go, okay, here we go. Who knows what's going to happen in this type of a game? Now we got to get on the film. We got to learn from it. We got to get better at it because if we need to, or if we're going to go where we want to go in terms of this team, we got to be better in those areas. But it would have been very easy to get discouraged, and we didn't. Hung in there, kept swinging, kept battling, and so we showed resilience. And that's a positive.
Your little Saban in there, pounding the podium. I know that Nick Saban was a big fan of pounding on the podium. But to his point, a lot of the talk this week, Jay-Z, was a first team on the road, first time starting quarterback that's going on the road, hostile environment. It didn't look great in the first half. He mentioned it, kind of kicked ourselves in the foot. Should have been maybe up a little bit more, not maybe in a chase game. But to come out the way that they did and taking that 7-3 lead into halftime, okay. It wasn't great. Maybe it was sloppy at times, but you got it done at the end.
Yeah, I mean, going on the road, back in our day, it was, a lot of the, you can't lose the turnover battle. Mm-hmm. You can't lose the rushing battle. You can't, blah, blah, blah. Well, we lost the turnover battle today. And you go on the road, you have one. Luckily we were able to bounce back from that. Mm-hmm. I'm sure we probably won the rushing. I think we held them to
61.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. We took care of that. But, there's just little things that we can't have this happen.
Battle.
Yeah, you can't have this happen when you're on the road. And, to be able to have some of that stuff happen, the guys keep their focus, just stay in the game and not really worry about it and just move on to the next play. That's big for a young team, in a big spot like that.
Again, Ohio State takes down Washington. That's another W team in the Big Ten, 24-6. Coming up next, we're going to wrap things up, hand out some Buckeye leaves as the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show continues on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Nobody has more all-wheel drive or electrified hybrid choices than Toyota. Now through September 30th, get 4.75 APR financing on a new 25 RAV4 or 5.75 on RAV4 Hybrid. Excludes plug-ins. Or lease a gas-powered RAV4 LE for $299 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
The Donato's Pep Duo Pizza is back, and it brought a pal. The Donato's Pep Duo, loaded with crispy pepperoni and 3 kinds of cheese. Now get a large Pep Duo pizza for just $14.99. Also back, Donato's deliciously dippable pepperoni cheese bread. Now on the $5 Pizza Pals menu for a limited time. More toppings, more flavor, more fun. Donato's. Gotta love more.
The future of recycling is now at Rumpke Waste and Recycling. The recycling leader has opened North America's largest, most technologically advanced recycling center right here in Central Ohio. This one-of-a-kind facility features interactive displays, educational opportunities, and the ability to process over 60 tons of recycled material per hour. Rumpke is committed to recycling and sustainability efforts, and for more than 90 years, Rumpke has worked to make sure the items you place in your recycling bin get used again. Visit Rumpke.com to learn how you can team with Rumpke to put less trash in our landfills and more of it to good use.
Your Ohio State flagship station, The Fan.
Buckeyes are known for paying it forward. That's why Buckeyes Care strives to serve the betterment of our community by positively impacting families across Ohio. Join American Electric Power, Donato's, Kroger, the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, the James Cancer Hospital, Huntington Bank, and WBNS TV in Columbus in supporting this cause at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Buckeyes Care. Again, the final score today from Seattle. Buckeyes 24, Huskies 6. More of the Encova Insurance Buckeyes postgame show coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
We have acres of brand new Chevys, Chryslers, Jeeps, Dodges, and Ram vehicles, as well as used cars and trucks that you're looking for at the Jeff Weiler Columbus Auto Mall in Canal Winchester. And if we don't have what you're looking for, we can find it at one of our 23 other locations. So come shop the lot or view over 2,000 cars right at your fingertips at JeffWeilerColumbusAutomall.com. Plus, use Weiler Direct to see monthly payments, value your trade, and get pre-approved. Rooted in family, driven by you.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show on the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
8:50 on the fourth quarter clock. 4th and 3, as you said, Jim. Washington at the Ohio State 48-yard line. Vines Bright will go wide to the left along with Roebuck. Boston was wide right. He'll motion to the left. So 3 wide left for Washington on 4th down. Snap to Damon Williams. Back to throw. He's grabbed, knocked down. He's going to fall down at the 40 on his own side of the field. And it was Caden McDonald, junior defensive tackle from Suwanee, Georgia, who got his hands on the quarterback and forced him to go to the ground.
I think that was the one we were talking about, where K-Mac just got that big bear paw out. Said, Mr. Williams, why don't you take a step back?
Seat.
Yeah. That was the story today for Ohio State, though. It was their defensive game plan and then the tenacity of the defensive line really staying inside of their game plan.
Well, that's the thing. It's the game plan, but it's the players going out and actually doing it on the field and not trying to be the hero and just saying, we're going to play this the way we were taught, the way we were coming into this game.
It'd be so easy, too, to be like, all right, well, I'm going to go outside.
I'm going to go get him this one. It's like so easy to have that mentality because you want to make the big play. You want to do that, but they stayed inside that game plan perfectly. And I imagine Larry Johnson and Matt Patricia are very, very happy with the way they played today.
Well, and you know this, too, especially against a quarterback like that. You have one guy that doesn't listen to the game plan on that defensive line and stay inside your rushing lanes.
20 yards later, you got a first down, and exactly.
All it takes is one person, and you had all 11 guys across the field.
They played great, and a team that was scoring so much to go out there. I'm sure the defense was pretty tired of hearing about their offense, too, all week long.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to go show them what we're about.
Yeah, put 6 points up at home.
Yeah, have fun with that.
Let's do some Buckeye leaves.
It's time to hand out some Buckeye leaves.
I think it's fair to say everyone on defense today, Buckeye leaves.
I think they get multiple. I think defense, have your cake and eat it too, because that was a heck of a game.
Again,
my
we've
gosh.
read his stat line for you, though. You were watching with your two eyeballs, or you were listening to Paul and Jim a little bit earlier. That guy was just a monster today. 11 tackles, 9 solo, 3 sacks, 5 TFLs. And then K-Mac, who we got to listen to one of those sacks, 7 tackles, 4 solos, 2 sacks, and 3 TFLs.
Yeah, it's just amazing. And then you had, 8 and 0 just sitting back there just in case he did get through. And
those guys stayed within the game plan, too.
They would just clean them up if you got to them. Just a special game all around. And, to be able to hold those guys to 6 points was nice. And then the offense got the job done. We leaned on Jeremiah a little bit coming out of that, in the second half.
Good guy to lean on.
It is a good guy to lean on, good guy to get involved. He had a huge play right before half getting the touchdown. So, Buckeye leaf to him. Julian held it down. Another first for him going on the road, Big Ten game, and nothing crazy, but he's efficient. And, he just seems like he has a really good handle on the offense and what they're trying to do. Got a little bit of pressure today. We saw him moving around in the pocket, something we really haven't seen him do this year. So it's nice to know that he has it in him. And, he doesn't go crazy. I'm keeping my eyes downfield. I'm giving myself some time, and I'm still putting the ball on these guys.
C.J. Donaldson, 2 Buckeye leaves for the receiving touchdown and the rushing touchdown. Bo Jackson as well. You and I had talked about this a little bit earlier. I think it tells you a big story. 17 carries for Bo Jackson, 9 being the next most for C.J. Donaldson.
Yeah, I think he's just that number is going to continue to grow. I think yes, we're getting close. And, then it'll be maybe him and CJ and with James coming in, depending on how the game goes. But Bo just jumps off at you. So I think he's somebody that I think coaches see it too. They're watching just like we are. I'm sure they're
watching more.
Yeah, we have definitely. So, I imagine he's just going to see more and more time.
Brandon Innes as well. Bounce back for him after the big punt return fumble. Nice punt return.
Yep.
Got to clean that up a little bit. But 3 catches for him, 34 yards. You could tell that he was kind of finding himself in an offensive rhythm, too.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of, I don't want to say frustration, but a lot of, man, I want to be making plays for my team, being a captain and everything coming into this season with all the, the hype and, for him to get a few catches, get some yards and, have a couple good plays. Just got to, clean that up, hold on to the ball because that was a nice return. We'd had the ball on, the 40, 35-yard line going in to score again. So, and he will. He's a captain here. The guys really look up to him, and, he's just one of those guys that will do anything for the team.
Jaden Fielding as well. After slipping on the field goal.
I don't even care about the field goals today. He made a nice, he didn't necessarily tackle the guy, but he got in front of him and made the guy fall down. And that dude was big, and he had a steam going right there. So good for him stepping in there and just giving his body up for the team.
What's your eyeballs going to be on tonight, Jay-Z? You doing Oregon, Penn State?
I'll be doing Oregon, Penn State.
I think I am, too.
I think that's the one I'm more interested in. Of course, we have Penn State coming in to town here in a few weeks, but, just Big Ten games, I think that's going to be a real good one. Also,
Buckeye leave to Panama Ted Holbrook today. Teddy, great job. New system. You did very well. Jay-Z had a great time tonight.
Yes,
let's do it maybe next, I guess, Sunday morning after the primetime game against the Gophers.
Yes, I know. It'll be a late one.
I will see you next Saturday. The executive producer of Ohio State Radio Sports is Skip Mossick. On behalf of our fantastic studio producer today, Panama, Teddy Holbrook, and for Justin Zwick, I'm Brandon Beam, inviting you to join us Monday night at 6 for Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King, and then Thursday at noon for the Ryan Day Show, presented by Roosters. Next Saturday is the Buckeyes host Minnesota. We're going to be on the air with the AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show beginning at 6 p.m. Ohio State football has been brought to you statewide by Encova Insurance and by Bob Evans Farms. Once again, the final score today, Buckeyes take down Washington 24-6. Thanks for listening. This has been Buckeye Football on the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
In honor of all those we've lost to cancer and those still fighting and thriving, like basketball analyst and cancer champion Dick Vitale.
I want to beat cancer. I'm going to beat it. That's no doubt in my mind. I'm going to win this battle.
Defeating cancer will take all of us. Join our team to help fund game-changing research that saves lives. At the V Foundation, V is for victory over cancer. V is for victory over the odds. V is for victory over health disparities, victory over setbacks, victory over the unknown. V is for victory over giving up.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Donate to the V Foundation to join our team and help save lives.
Cancer can take away all my physical abilities. It cannot touch my mind, it cannot touch my heart, and it cannot touch my soul.
100% of donations fund game-changing cancer research. Donate now to the V Foundation at v.org.
You've had a long, hard day of consuming football.
Football is all I got.
And as we all know, the only way to prevent a hangover is to have another round.
Don't it feel good when your crowd behind you? You know what I'm saying? Let's give them something to cheer for now.
This is Fan College Football Game Night. Early game scores and recaps, along with previews of the big night games.
Sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. From sump pumps and water heaters to full-service heating and cooling repair and replacement. The Waterworks and Header tackle it all.
Well, I guess if it's sponsored, I can't make this joke. It's been long, but I wouldn't call it hard. Reeser and Tito rolling with you till 11 o'clock. Or the Fans College Game Night, the big voice person said. But I figured we could do an hour on baseball.
Oh, good Lord.
If you'd like. It's coming down to 162 for both your Guardians and Reds. And I know this is weird because this is like a sports fire hydrant weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I kind of realized what we'd be doing, the schedule has us at 9 o'clock, but we're on at 8:30. And I was like, well, we could get 4 hours on what's happened in college football today and like what things mean from week 5 from a wild scene all across the country, like what it means moving forward as we inch closer to the month of October, Tito.
Reese, I read some on CBS Sports. They said this might be hyperbole. I got it.
Oh, yeah, let's crank it.
The greatest sports weekend ever with Ryder Cup, with MLB, with what's going on in college football, NFL. You got Baltimore, Kansas City, among other games on the NFL.
Yep, Dublin game tomorrow morning.
And you've got, I'll say it, you've got WNBA also playoffs. I'm saying, there's all that going on.
That is available. That is a correct statement made by you.
There's a lot going on.
One of many correct statements I'm sure you will make on this Saturday, September 27th. And like I said, as we move through October, I think Ohio State fans, we're going to be doing this until November 1st, maybe at the earliest, is just nitpick Ohio State wins.
Yes.
Because while Ohio State, as you've heard probably throughout the afternoon, 24-6 over Washington.
I know the score. I'm glad you told me. I wasn't sure if they won or not.
They break the nation's second longest win streak. Longest home win streak. The nation's longest home win streak might also fall tonight in Athens as Georgia now trails Alabama 14-0. But for the Buckeyes and for Ohio State and for what Ryan Day wants to do, like it hit me right before the half as the CBS guys are screaming at Ryan Day to take a timeout, thinking, okay, maybe they'll have 10 seconds to move into field goal position and tack on 3 more points as you go into the half. Maybe a 10-3 lead might make Ohio State fans feel better. But he didn't. And then I realized, we're doing this kind of slow, conservative roll.
Did
until
that
at
bother you?
least Penn State. No, because you won.
Okay, wait. In the moment.
Oh, I was annoyed in the moment.
I questioned the moment. In the moment, I questioned it.
No, because I knew what he was going to do. Like it was Gary, I think, that was saying he got to take a timeout here. I'm like, but Ryan Day won't. That's not who he is.
I know it's not. I'm with you. But like in the moment, though, it's like he should call timeout. I agree.
A little annoyed.
But then, like at the end of the game, I'm like, second half when they come out, because they talk about winning the middle 8, the 4 and the 4, right? And they did.
Yes,
they won the middle 8. And so, yeah, in the moment, I was like, call timeout. Call timeout. Why you call timeout? And I'm telling people around me, like, I'm like defending Ryan Day. Like, no, he knows what he's doing. I got it. Inside, I'm like, God, call timeout.
Yeah.
Worked out.
In front of a sellout crowd of 72,485. It was probably the third coolest scene in college football this weekend. As you've got the whiteout going on right now in Happy Valley, and then you've got Alabama, Georgia in Athens. Probably whiteout, Bama, Georgia, what you saw at Husky Stadium with the sailgate, with the decibel levels that, it's really what Seattle's known for, right? The Legion of Boom, and just those crowds in that area, the Pacific Northwest, are known for getting loud. And so I think this was kind of the perfect test for Julian Sain and his first road start.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'd give him an A.
So would I. So would I. Look, like I said, okay, I was around people, and my wife specifically said, like, I don't think Julian Sain's playing. No, Julian Sain's playing exactly as he should play. He did exactly what he had to do. The game plan they had, he executed it. They did not want to have all these shots deep early in the game. And so it was check downs. It was conservative. He executed the game plan.
I mean, Bo Jackson had 17 carries on the day.
Yes. Right. Which I'm happy with.
For reference, Julian Sain was only asked to throw the ball 28 times.
And he was effective.
He was efficient. And what I thought at one point, the red zone is an issue.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can say that.
Sure.
Red zone scoring for Ohio State. It feels like Ohio State's biggest opponent through 4 weeks has been through 4 games in 5 weeks has been the red zone. From 20 to goal line, does feel like Ohio State gets a little bit in their own heads.
They've got to fix that.
There was a moment where I saw, I think it was twice, one in the red zone at least for Julian, where he had Green in front of him, and he either ran out of bounds or ran to the boundary or tried to throw short or throw the ball away. And I kind of felt a little bit of like C.J. Stroud flashbacks.
Oh, yeah.
Not to say I wanted to turn C.J. Stroud into what Justin Fields was, but that I wanted to, if you've got Green in front of you, Julian, go.
Go. Take it off. Yep.
But I also understand that if you're Ryan Day and the coaching staff and Billy Fessler and Brian Hartline, you're saying, Julian, no, because I can't have my quarterback going out week 5 running all over the place.
Yes.
I do understand from that point. It is a long season. And then you get to how the defense played. You didn't need anything. You didn't need anything special.
God, they were so good.
You got touchdown from Jeremiah Smith that was about as easy as you're ever going to get, because for some reason when Four's out there, people forget that he's there, and he runs underneath, and it's like, so you're going to keep the linebacker on him?
That's funny. My dad called me right before that happened, said, I don't know why they go for the middle. Like, throw it to the middle, somebody's going to be open, and then Smith catches that pass and goes in the end zone. My dad calls me and tells me, hey, remember I told you that? Yes. It was a... I have learned not to question, for the most part, Ryan Day.
He's earned it.
He has. I mean, look, the defense, 6 points.
Yeah.
It's amazing. They had you've on the road, you've got that dual threat quarterback, a great running back, 6 points.
This was from Bill Bender. The Buckeyes have allowed 5.5 points and 2 offensive touchdowns through 4 games.
It's amazing.
You can't ask for anything better. The fact that Washington didn't convert on a 3rd down until 11:55 left in the 4th quarter. Damon Williams would have been, I think, even worse rushing-wise if I think that one Caden Curry sack had been allowed. I think it was Keonta Jackson who had the paw in the face of the offensive lineman. Which,
look, it was dramatic.
It was a really bad ref show today in Seattle for both sides.
Reese, I will tell you this. I'm not going to say go to hell, Jim Knowles, but I'm really glad we have Matty P.
I don't think about Jim Knowles.
I know. I'm just saying, but it's going to November 1st. You will.
I don't know. I don't care.
November 1st will be a big game.
You upgraded.
I think so too.
You broke up with a 9 and you got with a 10.
Yes, that's a great way to put it. I love that. I'm going to steal it on Monday in Morning Juice. I'm going to steal that. That's what it is.
You can absolutely have that.
That's what it is. You're right. 9 to a 10. You're right. It was not. Yes.
And it's one of those things to where you say it, you talk about it, and you go out and do it.
Yep.
Because we had talked for a week about how, DeMond Williams and this Washington attack was going to be the best test you were going to get as an Ohio State defense. But the fact that the Buckeyes had the athletes to do what was asked of them and keeping everything in front of them, like Jonah Coleman was going to get a couple of big runs. And I think maybe he only had one. Denzel Boston, they kept in check all game, but it started with the quarterback, as you were not able to give him places to run and places to escape out of. Yeah. And then down the field, it was locked down. This was a defensive performance for the ages. You'll hear from some of the participants of today's Ohio State win over Washington. They're coming back home for homecoming next week against the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
Hey, night game.
7:30 kick for homecoming between the Buckeyes and the Gophers. We'll do some more college football chatter coming up next. It's the Fans College Game Night on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
The next disaster is coming. Make a plan. Keep extra medication on hand. Make copies of important documents. Stay informed and be ready. Learn more at americares.org/send-us-in.
Since 2003, Wounded Warrior Project has helped post-9/11 veterans adjust back to civilian life. Through specialized programs, they begin healing their bodies and minds while regaining a sense of camaraderie. Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
1 in 4 Americans today are living with a disability. I'm one of them. I care deeply about creating a world we can all fully participate in, free from stigma, misperceptions, and barriers. And we've got a trusted ally on our side, an organization we can rely on, Easter Seals. Rooted in communities nationwide, Easter Seals helps empower millions of people, regardless of age or disability, through its life-changing services and powerful advocacy. Today and every day, Easter Seals is leading the way to full equity, inclusion, and access to healthcare, employment, and education for people with disabilities, families, and communities. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Learn more and get involved at easterseals.com.
When it comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
Heather and I had an argument just like any other couple. I was lost. I had snapped. I had a gun and I was going to take my own life. Heather helped me realize that there was still a life to live for the better of myself, my family. My weapon is now safely put away.
A moment of crisis can happen to anyone. Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, ooh, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan. You're listening to Fan College Football Game Night.
Well, I think it's important that we continue to grow on offense and figure out where the identity of this team is and where it's going. I think it's something that we'll work on week to week. But when you have a defense that is playing the way it is right now, you can play with confidence, knowing that you don't have to score every single possession. You can control the clock and play it. I wouldn't say more conservative, but you understand time, score, and situation.
As head coach Ryan Day following the Buckeyes' 24-6 win at Washington, you're a quarter of the way through the season. And so this methodical approach offensively makes sense. When you have a defense playing the way it does, is you're not trying to take too many shots right now because you don't have to. If you can win this way, Ryan Day will take wins like this clear to January 19th.
Absolutely, 100%. Yep.
And I know that's going to make some Buckeye fans unhappy because you do want to boat race teams. And it certainly felt at times against Washington, you could have put it on them.
Yeah.
Because you have the ponies in the stable to do it. And I do think the loss last season, that's all I'm going to say about it, at the end of the year, and then what you did in the playoff has a lot of fans feeling justified in that, right? When you go, this is a conservative approach. Our talent for Ohio State is so much more that we could play like they did against Tennessee. Why aren't we doing that? And I would say that's just not Ryan Day.
I think that Ryan Day has figured out how to be selectively conservative.
Especially with a quarterback making his 4th start all time and his 1st start on the road.
Right. And it's not first start, by the way, in Evanston.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not in West Lafayette.
It's in Minnesota.
No, this was a tough first start, and I think they managed it and executed it perfectly.
Because I feel like while the Gophers are a good team, I feel like you can pour 42, 48 points on them next week in Columbus.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
But I'm not sure you're going to do that.
Look, it really worked out well as far as what they wanted to do. They defensively executed perfectly. Special teams, not great because of the fumble, but okay.
I do wonder with Innis's fumble, is it maybe it's not time, but you have the question about if you want Caleb Downs to start getting into that Heisman buzz.
You. Yeah, I know.
Do you put 2 back there? And they'll likely never kick to him, or they'll try to do whatever they can to kick away from him. But is that part of the conversation? Because that's what wins like this kind of get you. When Ohio State goes up 14-3, that was over.
Yeah, I thought it was done then. I felt great. At that point, it's like, you know what? This is Ohio State win.
At no real point after the half when the Buckeyes come out that you thought DeMond Williams was going to have something magical up his sleeve.
With the special teams thing, if you just look at, and I don't know what the number is off the top of my head, that'd be show prep, which I don't do. But the number of punt returns Caleb Downs has had to his number of touchdowns has got to be one of the best in the country. You know what I mean?
So probably it's like a good ratio of how many times he returns a punt versus how many times he puts it in the end zone.
Alabama? Yeah, I think he had one with Alabama.
You said it with confidence. I'll go with it.
Okay. And then the producer should look that up for us. He's not even listening. No, it's fine.
Trying to keep us on time.
I know
here.
he is. I know. That's a tough thing. I think that Caleb Downs had one in Alabama. I know. Look, I know. Look, I know. I see him once in a while, so I can be a jerk. Right. I think he had one in Alabama and then the one in Ohio State. I think he's had 2 with very few total attempts.
Yeah, I think especially with knowing how, because we're around the program so much, how much he means to that defense.
Right.
Like there's an MVP that's not going to show up on a stat line. It's what Caleb can do for an Ohio State defense in 4 games this season and then games last season. Isaiah, do you have an answer for us?
He did have a punt return touchdown against Chattanooga at Alabama.
Okay, so he's got 2 in his career with probably like 10 attempts, I'm guessing.
No, it's got to be one of the best all time.
Yes! Thank you, Isaiah. I love you.
But I think with the way that they were able to, everything else was great.
Oh, yeah. Look, Reese, I don't want to be Homer guy, but
just do it.
No, I'm saying, but the way the season's played out so far, damn near perfect.
Well, you're 4-0.
What I'm saying, like, you had the tough first win at home against a really good Texas team. I said great, really good Texas team, right? Yeah. Perfect game at Grambling State. Adversity against OU. Bye week, first road game, really never threatened.
No.
This is a pretty good start to the season. I don't know. Like, I'm glad they got tested against Texas. I'm glad they had adversity against OU. And then they win this road game with really no challenge to the defense at all.
I think it was late in the 3rd quarter when Ohio State had their first pre-snap penalty.
Yeah.
That was caused by the noise.
Right, yeah.
Like it felt like Washington was affected more by the noise and the atmosphere and the pressure than this Ohio State team was. And it's a master class. It's a great job and a great testament to the coaching staff of having their players ready for that kind of an environment, for that kind of a challenge that we all thought Washington would present.
One of the things I talked to with Bobby about on Morning Juice was, would you rather have in this environment experienced offensive line, inexperienced quarterback, or inexperienced offensive line, and experienced quarterback? And Bobby said, no, you want to have the inexperienced quarterback with an experienced offensive line.
You want that.
You want that
10
in this
times
environment,
out of 10.
especially a center.
Yep.
Right? Like if you've got that, that's a huge difference than the other way around.
The story that Carson Hinsman's writing at Ohio State is incredible.
Yes.
One of the all-time journeys that man has been on through this Buckeye program, and he very well might leave with 2 national championship rings. Now,
that'd be amazing.
Again, like I said, we're a quarter of the way through the season. We got 4 games down. You'd like to think there are 12 remaining for Ohio State to summit college football's mountaintop on January 19th. But this is exactly the way that I think Ryan Day wanted to do it.
Yeah. I think so too.
His quarterback get better every week, have his quarterback do exactly what was asked of him, his quarterback play clean, his quarterback play smart, and then still have things to work on. I also think the play calling when you're in the red zone can be a little better, but I think that's to an inexperienced play caller like Brian Hartline learning from each week. Because at 4th and 1, I don't know what they're doing with C.J. Donaldson.
I don't know. I'm with you. Yes, I got you.
It should be Bo Jackson RB1. I would like to think next week against Minnesota, it is Bo Jackson RB1. Sure. Now, C.J. Donaldson ripped off a couple really good plays, really good chunk plays to open that first drive for the Buckeyes. But if it results in nothing because you oopsie-daisy in the red zone, then I think we've seen enough from Bo, in my opinion. You've seen enough from Bo Jackson, and I think the later stats in the game told that story to where Donaldson, yes, does get the touchdown, but Bo Jackson's got 17 carries for 80 yards. And it's the carries more than the yards for me.
Yeah, it's number of touches, number of snaps in the game and all that. Yes, it is, absolutely. With Bo Jackson, I think that I have to believe that it's planned on how much you're going to incorporate Bo Jackson. I think Bo Jackson, by the time we get to the final third of the season, you will see him completely dominating the snaps over the other guys.
It pleases me to hear.
And no disrespect to Donaldson, everybody, like their people's, I just think that Jackson, though, does something different.
We need to stop saying no disrespect to person X. I keep going back to the comment that Urban Meyer made years ago. This is life in the big city.
Right,
and for programs like Ohio State, for Penn State, for Oregon, for Alabama, for Georgia, I'm not worried about feelings, and nor should anybody else be. The best player plays. The best player gets the ball. That's how you win in this.
You're right. But I still get into the fact of I still struggle with their kids. Look, they're professional athletes, what they are. I've got to
these are pros.
They're pros now. I know.
Now, Bo, Julian, those guys are young pros, but they are still pros.
I know.
So
that's where I struggle with it, because you and I, more so me, but when college football was a quote unquote amateur sport, it was different. But it's not.
It was amateur. It's never been amateur.
No, it's been amateur with a side eye.
When they
with
the largest
I know.
I don't know if you get the Lord of the Rings reference, but a Tower of Mordor side eye, that kind of a large side eye. Since they started putting this game on TV.
I know.
I understand.
But so that's where I still have to rationalize that, man. These guys, I think a high school kid commits to Ohio State because he wants to be a Buckeye and growing up here and all that stuff. I know I've got to get rid of that.
There's still some of that.
Well, no, there's not.
You don't think Sonny Styles doesn't feel that?
I'm sure. Okay, but I'm sure Sonny Styles wants to be in Columbus. Yes, I believe that from the start. He grew up wanting to be a Buckeye.
His brother Lorenzo, their father was a Buckeye.
Yes, was a Buckeye. I get all that. But any kid who's in Ohio who's I want to be a Buckeye, somebody offers him $5 million, you know what I want to be? I want to be a Mountaineer. Whatever. I want to be
whoever's going to give you the biggest bag.
I know, and I wouldn't blame them at all.
There is that, but I also think you look at the quarterback for Ohio State.
Yes.
And when he transfers from Alabama,
to come here,
he could have gone anywhere.
He could have.
I think they flashed the quarterback rankings of the class of 2024 during that game. Damon Williams was 12. Julian Sain was number 1. And so when he hits the transfer portal, everyone and their grandma would want that quarterback over the guy that they've got. There's a small list of teams no, we're good with the guy we have.
Yeah.
But everybody else was likely throwing offers at him.
Sure.
And he chose Ohio State. So you're going to always have both. For the Buckeyes, they end the nation's second longest home winning streak. Washington had won their 22 previous matchups against teams coming into Husky Stadium. The nation's longest home winning streak is in jeopardy. We'll tell you how things are going in Athens coming up next. It's College Game Night on The Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
Around the world, Children International and friends like you are giving children in poverty a chance to grow and thrive, to be healthy, to succeed in school, and achieve great things. How do we do it? In the best way possible, by helping ensure access to healthcare, nutrition, and educational opportunities. And most importantly, by empowering youths and their families to get out of poverty and into employment through life skills, computer, and job training. The very tools they need to break the cycle of poverty and build futures full of promise. Because every child deserves a chance to realize their full and best potential. Learn more about how Children International is empowering children and families by going to children.org today. That's children.org.
While serving in Vietnam, a grenade took my ability to see. Today, I'm a sculptor. Now, my fingers are my eyes. I'm Michael Naranjo. As a veteran, I know the challenges of life can be great. In my art, turning a lump of clay into something beautiful, that is worth doing. Life is like that. We each must use what we can to make things better.
DAV helps veterans like Michael get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year in life-changing ways.
Now, I show others how they can create something with their own hands. I know it can do a lot of good. With support from DAV, more veterans can shape their lives into a thing of beauty. My victory is bringing beauty into the world.
Michael Naranjo, may your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. This is the Fans Game Day Scoreboard.
This game day update is sponsored by Mutual Federal, proudly serving Columbus with personal and business solutions at mutualfederal.com.
Good evening, I'm Isaiah Jacob with your sports update. Ohio State got a win on the road against the Huskies 24-6. Julian Sayin threw for 208 yards and 2 touchdowns. Bo Jackson led the way on the ground with 17 carries and 80 yards. Jeremiah Smith had 8 catches for 81 yards and 1 touchdown. Now, right now, 6th-ranked Oregon and 3rd-ranked Penn State are underway, currently tied up 3-3 just before half. Also, 17th-ranked Alabama is leading the way against 5th-ranked Georgia 17-7 halfway through the second. We also have 13 Ole Miss upset number 4 LSU 24-19, and the 9th-ranked Texas A&M beat Auburn 16-10. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
You're listening to Fan College Football Game Night.
Reeser and Tito until 11 o'clock. Fit-off, you got to remind me 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock, wow. Okay.
You got to remind me before the show's over. Yeah. I got to change my password. And then we got to have a playoff conversation about the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Did you miss the memo?
I got the email that says you got to do by Friday. Expires in a day. No.
Oh, okay, that one. Okay, I got you. Okay.
No, I did.
You did the technical trading?
Did the fishing trading.
You
did
the trading. Okay, all right.
Ain't nobody gonna fish me for.
Listen, I went to do it.
Listen, Platinum Fox, if you want gift cards, you go out and buy them yourself.
I went to do it, and I was told you are not eligible
to do the fishing trade.
Yes, I didn't have to do it.
So you were told you didn't have to do it.
I was told I had to do it.
Company mandated IT training.
Right.
I was told that if I didn't do it, they would not let me into any of my systems.
I was somehow probably, knowing as old as I am, I may have been great-grandfathered in, but I did not have to do anything.
This is going to sound how it sounds. You're the target, though.
I know.
For like 90% of online phishing scams.
Do you have any idea how many times I've signed up for robot insurance?
I bet. How many times have you had to update your registration?
Listen,
probably a lot.
If the Nigerian prince comes through, I'm loaded. Loaded.
If that day comes.
Yes.
But yeah, the Notre Dame conversation I want to have.
Yes.
We'll have it later. Because, they beat Arkansas 56-13 today.
It wasn't even that close.
It wasn't. But I don't know. At 2-2, No. What, we doing this? I mean,
they're good. Okay, we'll do it later.
Yeah, no, much later.
But they will. Go ahead.
Damn it, you're right.
I know.
Right now in Athens, the Georgia flavored. The Bulldogs trail 17-7, but Georgia's now at the 1 yard line.
That was 4th and goal, wasn't it?
About to punch it in.
I think that was 4th and goal.
Well, Kirby's holding up a 1, and this is great radio as we're watching television. But
let's talk about
the left side of our TV double feature. You've got Oregon and Penn State knotted up at 3 in the whiteout. That's the coolest environment in college football.
Penn State?
It's Penn State's whiteout.
You can't say that here locally.
I just did.
No, you can't, though.
No, I'm comfortable in saying that.
I don't.
Because they don't need drones. They don't need light shows. They don't need.
Do they have a victory bell?
They don't need folksy.
Do they have a bell?
Maybe.
I don't think they have a bell.
I've never been to Happy Valley. That's a bucket list.
By the way, it is.
You've had a victory bell for 120 years, so it's a tradition.
It is really difficult to get to Happy Valley.
Yeah, it's an outpost.
You can't
college town in the truest sense of the word.
I've driven there several times.
All right, so it couldn't have been 4th and goal. Silly. It was now
there was a holding penalty. There was a holding penalty on Alabama.
That'll do it then.
So
Georgia's now 2nd and goal at the 2 yard line. Go Dogs or whatever.
Yeah, go Dogs.
I think
right?
Georgia had won like 38 straight in Athens.
Is that what the number
coming
is?
Into this
it's
game?
Amazing.
Yeah, it was like 10 more, or even more so, because Washington won 22, so you're looking at 18 more than what the Huskies had done at home is what Georgia's rolling into in this game. Meteor.
Okay. So.
Between Alabama and Georgia?
Yes.
I want Alabama to win this. Because I do think the SEC and the ACC are going to have extreme conference cannibalization.
Okay. The ACC certainly, yes.
ACC absolutely. We'll get to
the Big 12
wild day in the coast-to-coast Atlantic Coast Conference today. The Big 12, maybe.
They always do.
Right now, Iowa State leads Arizona 22-7. The Cyclones are ranked 14th in the country, and they are unblemished right now. 1-0 in conference play, 4-0 overall. But, yeah, you got Arizona State has the most wins in the Big 12 at 2-0. But
yeah, who knows?
I think they are, but I think that's the Big 12. I know the ACC is going to cannibalize itself.
Yes.
I want the SEC too. Every year I root for chaos in the Southeastern Conference.
Yes, I'm okay with that.
Because I enjoy seeing at the end of the year them go to the playoff committee and just scream at them.
I can't
I like seeing Kirby Smart yell at Greg Sankey after the SEC championship about how their regular season schedule was so difficult.
I think I have more hatred for Alabama than I do want to for chaos.
Okay.
Like I think I hate them more than I want the chaos.
I've never hated Alabama.
Oh God, I hate Alabama.
Why?
They beat Ohio State in the Sugar Bowl 35-6, and Woody's second to last year.
Okay. I mean,
and then Bear Bryant. Look, they
stomped Ohio State in the national championship.
They did.
That 2020
that added to it. And I'm saying it's where it started. And then I think Bear Bryant, whatever.
I disliked Alabama until the 2014 Sugar Bowl.
Okay.
And then when Ohio State goes, 80 yards, or Ezekiel Elliott goes to the heart of the South.
The heart of the South,
and I go, okay. I don't hate them anymore.
You don't hate them? I hate Alabama.
All right.
I don't know.
17-7, still the score, because they're talking about it. Kirby Smart is with his team.
1-6 against Alabama.
Yeah.
But like 107-13 against the world. But then 1-6
against
Alabama. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
hey, Cooper. Go ahead.
No, what were you going to say?
Oh, say, hey, Cooper. That's all I'm saying. Hey, Cooper.
Well, you do have to win those kinds of games.
You do.
You must, because it won't matter outside of national championships.
Mm-hmm.
What else that you do? It's did you beat the team that everybody wants you to beat? Because
Georgia.
There is good old fashioned hate. Is Georgia Tech?
Yes, I think that's right.
That's a rivalry, but it's traditionally been bug meets windshield. I think it was 4 overtimes that decided it last year, but it's nothing like the Ohio States and the Michigans of the world.
Right.
This is Georgia's rival.
Yes,
is Alabama.
Yep, absolutely.
Funny to see, when the SEC brought out their protected rivalries for the next 3 seasons. This wasn't part of it.
Amazing.
I don't want to see Alabama play Missouri. I don't care.
But you have to average it. You have to kind of make it, because with Ohio State, if you said Ohio State, here's your rivals, it would be Michigan. It'd probably be, I don't know, Penn State.
Should be.
And then Oregon.
I'd like to see that, yeah.
Okay, but then look at somebody else's,
I don't need to see Ohio State play Minnesota.
But look at other teams, though.
No, I understand.
That they would have 3 weaker teams.
What you're saying is correct. I just don't want that.
I'm with you. By the way, I'm on the record as saying I don't understand the Penn State love for the Ohio State-Penn State rivalry. I don't get it.
What do you mean?
Look, Ohio State's dominated that rivalry.
Okay.
Close games, but they've won a lot.
They've always mattered.
They have mattered. But I don't think it's I'd rather see Ohio State play Oregon every year than Penn State every year. Give me a choice. I'll take Ohio State, Oregon every year over Ohio State, Penn State.
So it's an interesting point you make because I wonder if Oregon's on a bubble. I don't think Ohio State is because Ohio State has never really been a team that you would call down in my lifetime.
Sure.
And probably in your lifetime.
Sure.
But does this Oregon, is Oregon on a bubble that could burst?
I think Oregon's got Phil Knight money and then whatever, like Johnny Knight and then Timmy Knight, whatever the procession is.
You don't think he'll
Knights.
just leave a big bag of cash in his name when he passes?
Might, but I'm saying Nike and Knight will be funding Oregon for a long, long time. You'll have Dark Knight. You'll have all these other Knights, like a Black Knight, whatever. All these different Knights will be coming through with money for Oregon.
Craig in the YouTube chat says, I'll just turn off the TV and listen to you two describe the game. Riveting.
Thank you. Sarcastic?
There's as much sarcasm as you can put into a comment. There is no sarcasm font.
No, Craig.
Which, if you could make a font, make a sarcasm font. It would help a lot of us.
Appreciates it.
A lot of us with
Craig.
very dry humor. Also, Sawyer says, if you think Bo Jackson is the guy, then why put him in short-yarded situations in a game you're going to win? Don't risk the injury. I agree. I understand that logic. I would just say don't be afraid to play football.
Yes. In that scenario, yes. If it's 48-6 against Northwestern,
we should be in the game.
But if it's this game, yeah, I want Bo Jackson to get the reps in a hostile environment in a big-time situation.
It was a lot of purple, but you saw a ton of scarlet today. And
yes.
if it was ever in question about Ohio State fans and their ability to travel to some of the best spots in the country, here's Caden Curry on Buckeye Nation supporting them in Seattle.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it didn't even feel like an away game. We had so much red in that crowd, and it felt like it was home away from home, and we could feel them. We could definitely just feel the energy from them.
They played like it.
He mispronounced Scarlet.
Say that again?
He mispronounced Scarlet. He said red. He meant
honestly, it didn't even feel like an away game. We had so much red in that crowd, and it felt like it was home away from home, and we could feel them. We could definitely just feel the energy from them.
So can I give him a pass with 11 total tackles, 9 solo, 3 sacks, should be 4 or 5 tackles for loss? Is that going to do it?
He can say maroon for all I care. That's fine. That's fine.
Do we know the color?
He's got it. It's scarlet, but everyone says red. That's okay.
A good day if your name was Caden.
Oh, God.
The only question I had about this defense was because Damon Williams presented, I think, the toughest challenge for this team in 4 games.
Yeah.
Like, he was going to be the guy that could beat you. The big play was what I thought Washington was going to have. And I'm not extreme ball knower, but I thought if Washington was going to have a chance in this game, they're going to have to hit some big plays. And it was going to come off the legs of Damon Williams and then the arm after escaping the pocket. But it was suffocating for him back there.
I very much had a Michael Penix feel going in.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking about that. Like the way Penix was for Indiana and then Penix for Washington also. But that's kind of the vibe I had. And I think Ohio State did a fantastic job of bottling it up.
And this was, the fourth game in a row where it felt confusing for me to watch with Ohio State. Like, who are they going to send? Were they going to send anybody? Were they going to rush with 4?
Right.
Because in that situation, you felt really comfortable just rushing 4. But if you wanted to, you could send that extra blitzer.
I found it very interesting the way that Washington tried to change the tempo up, do the tempo. So Ohio State could not confuse Washington with the way they do things. But look, 6 points against that team?
Yeah.
Damn good.
And here's Ryan Day talking about just how Ohio State's defensive front, they did enough to make it really, really painful for Damon Williams and the Washington Huskies.
Yeah, one of the things we talked about was the defensive line rushing 4 as 1. I think it's easy when you go against a quarterback who can scramble like Williams can to start to get out of your gap, get a little undisciplined, but you got to all work together. I thought that happened today, and because of that, they were able to get sacks. And I think they're buying into it and understand how it all works, and I thought the defensive staff did a great job putting the game plan together.
Because you did both for Ohio State fans, right? The first 3 weeks, you're like, well, they're getting good pressure. They're holding quarterbacks behind the line of scrimmage, but the sacks aren't there. Today, you got the best of both worlds, Buckeye fan.
They really did.
And all it does is provide you a springboard into next week against Minnesota. I mean, you're getting more into Big Ten play. We're gonna do as good of a job as we can on the fan to get you excited for Ohio State and Minnesota next week. But
it can't.
We'll try to start it next. It's College Game Night on the Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one? Yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast-track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Earn 2% cash back on purchases and pay 0% APR on balance transfers for 15 months with a new Kemba Financial Credit Union Visa. That's more rewards and less interest. Apply at Kemba.org. For purchases and balance transfers made in the first 90 days, restrictions apply. APR equals annual percentage rate. Variable and subject to change. Equal opportunity lender. Expires 10/31/25.
My name is Katie. I'm a Spectrum customer for mobile and internet. And I grew up on a farm and ranch in Nebraska, so I'm always cowgirling. Cowboy culture, you never want to pay more than you have to because there are so many expenses that go into farming and ranching. To have any efficiency on the farm, you need extreme connection and reception. I bet we save about $180 a month with Spectrum, and that's $2,100 for the whole year.
Real customers, real savings. Visit spectrum.com/save. Real customer testimonial, compensated, not scripted.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good. Now at Great Lakes Hyundai, lease 2 Elantras for $222. That's right, lease 2 new 2025 Elantra SEs for just $222 a month for a 2-year lease. Both your new Elantras come with owner assurance and America's Best Warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. In Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit, $39.99 down per unit plus taxes, fees. First month payment, 10K miles per year, ends 9/30.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Right now, red, green, or black seedless grapes are on sale for only $1.77 a pound with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at RunyonDentalGroup.com. That's RunyonDentalGroup.com.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now.
Hey, it's Timmy Hall. Looky here, guys. The Grove City Smoking Hot Wing and Music Fest is back for year 3, Saturday, October 4th at American Nitro. I'm excited. We're talking cold beer, killer wings, live music all day, football on the big screen. It all supports Ghosts of War, helping veterans in need. So veterans and military, you're in free, baby. Get your tickets at AmericanNitro.com/Wingfest. Brought to you by The Fan, Columbus Chamber, Martin Painting, T-Mobile, and Greenscapes. Wingfest, flavor, fun, and football. What more do you need?
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront costs before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
Matty Ice here. Football is back, and it also marks the kickoff to huge savings at McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. Right now, you can get a 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 with up to $12,000 off MSRP for qualified buyers. Just imagine riding up to your tailgate party in a brand new Silverado from McDaniel. And McDaniel GM Superstore has been family-owned and operated for over 100 years. They're just a short drive north off Route 23 on 95 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
I'm meteorologist Aaron White here with your 10 weather impact forecast. There is a very slight chance for an isolated shower or thunderstorm here today. Better chances arriving going into tomorrow, and even more rain chances in the forecast looking ahead to next week. We'll see highs in the 80s here for tomorrow with a chance for showers and storms in the afternoon into the evening hours. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast here on 97.1 The Fan.
You're listening to Fan College Football Game Night.
Now, we're not where we need to be in terms of, down the road. I think we still got a lot of work to do in all areas. So we have to continue to work to get better. But you're seeing, obviously, the potential of where we are. But each week we're going to have to continue to get better because, in this conference, that's our first conference win. Got a lot of work to do. But it does give us something to refer back to of you just went into an environment they've won 22 straight games and this team won. And, if we can do some things a little bit better, we're going to come out of this film session thinking that, we could have even played a little better in certain areas. But that's it. This time of year, you got to continue to figure out what the issues are and continue to get better. But I think the confidence is there, and it should be.
It was Ryan Day following Ohio State's 24-6 win at Washington earlier this afternoon. Reeser and Tito on the Fans Game Night with you until 11 o'clock. This weekend's really like drinking through a sports fire hose. And so with things going on today, we'll do our best to keep you abreast to everything going on around college football and then in baseball. But for Ohio State in the next couple of weeks, I look at a pair of them as trap games. Next week against Minnesota, for me, feels like something Ohio State would be looking ahead to the game in 3 weeks in Champaign against probably a top 20 Illinois team.
I would have thought that before the Indiana game. Like, I was worried about the Illinois game before Indiana put up, 63 on them, whatever the number was. Sure. I am more worried about the game in Madison at this point than the game in Champaign.
And the game against Wisconsin, who is 2-2, 0-1 in conference play. They were off this week. The Buckeyes play the Badgers before their game on November 1st against Penn State. But that game against the Nittany Lions is at home. But so I feel the same way about a game in Madison against Wisconsin. I do feel that the Illinois game, after the Illini beat USC 34-32 today, images and memories of going to Champaign with a number 1 next to your name still.
But the Juice Williams thing, was that Champaign? That was Champaign, yeah.
I believe that might have been at Ohio Stadium.
Was that? I'm wondering if they have big losses in Champaign. I know they've had losses, obviously, in Madison. The game, the guy, Lee Evans going to get when Chris Gamble slipped, that's the one that gets me when they're undefeated number 1. But I can't remember if the Juice Williams game was in Champaign or in Ohio State. But I think that I have more anxiety about games in Madison. Regardless of what the teams look like, I have more anxiety about an Ohio State-Wisconsin game than I do about Ohio State-Illinois.
Juice Williams game, November 10th, 2007, 28-21 in favor of the visiting Illini.
Okay, so it was
Ohio State was number 1 in that matchup. But I think for Ohio State fan, you would have to look in the mirror after today's win and ask yourself, what do you want?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to tell you how to feel. I'm not going to tell you what you should want, but any kind of win you get today against Washington, any kind of win you get against Illinois in Champaign in 2 weeks, and then any kind of win you get against Penn State is all that matters in this. Because, Tito, I had talked about conference cannibalization in the SEC.
Right.
And I think for this Ohio State team, there's faith for me that they will look as they did in the college football playoff when the time comes. All they need to do now is win games and stay healthy. Both of those boxes have been checked through 4 games in 5 weeks because I believe Ohio State will reach the Big Ten championship and be just fine for their college football playoff resume. It's where the SEC comes in, and if they have teams with 3-4 losses, you really test kind of their argument relative to the Big Ten.
If the playoff were today, like they had to put the final ones out there today, how many Big Ten teams you putting in?
4, maybe 5.
Okay, so you're putting Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, Indiana, right?
Uh-huh.
Who's the 5th?
Right now, Illinois.
Maybe. Illinois?
Maybe.
I don't know. The loss to Indiana makes me pause on Illinois. Great.
Sure.
The win against USC, but USC kind of gave that game away. I mean, USC should have beat Illinois, but I think there's 4 probably. But yes, you're right. I think that the Big Ten has the least chance of cannibalizing themselves, whereas the ACC already has. Big 12 will if they haven't already, and SEC, depending on this Georgia game, might. They might cannibalize themselves.
You got about 30 seconds left to go in the half. Alabama's got a 17-14 lead over Georgia. It's tied at 3 at the half between Oregon and Penn State. Let's just do this now because I had teased it, the Notre Dame conversation.
Okay.
Where the Irish are 2-2 on the season. They probably, I don't know if this is the final nail in the coffin of Arkansas's head coach, but the fact that now at 2-2 on the season, if Notre Dame rips off, would it be 8 straight wins? They're in the college football playoff.
It's 10-2, yep.
That's probably the roadmap. But boy, I watch them, and Sam Pittman, I think if he loses 2 more games, Sam Pittman at Arkansas, I think his buyout shrinks by like $3 million.
Okay.
So I think Arkansas probably keeps him around for a little bit. But for the Irish, they've got remaining on their schedule a game against USC.
And it's
everybody else.
South Bend.
Yes.
Yes.
It'll be on October 18th.
Yep.
And everybody else feels like it should be a win. I don't know if Notre Dame provides us with some wonky thing, some wonky loss.
Yeah.
But 10-2 will put them into the college football playoff, and I don't think it should.
Not
this Notre Dame team.
If they win out, they dominated Arkansas on the road.
Mm-hmm.
The USC game,
Crushed Purdue,
yes.
Against Miami and Texas A&M, so they better hope that the U keeps on rolling, because I don't think Miami leaves the state of Florida until November.
Right.
And they better hope Texas A&M stays at the top of the SEC.
I think a 10-2 Notre Dame team will get in for 2 reasons. One, because I think they probably will deserve it, but number 2, because it's a television program.
Yeah.
So I think they'll get in. But I don't think, though, Reese, if we ever go back and look and say, well, this team is 10-2 is better than that team that's 10-2, we can never really decide that. There's not a definitive way to do it, because you play different teams at different times, have different injuries, different, like, in the moments, like Florida State was undefeated, did not get into the 14 playoff. Because why? Their quarterback got hurt at the wrong time. If you get hurt week 1, they still go undefeated, then they're in.
Yeah.
But he gets hurt in the last week of the season, they don't get in. And so all that, it's so subjective. But Notre Dame's going to get in if they're 10-2. I don't think any 10-2 Notre Dame team will ever not make a 12-team playoff.
I think you're right. I wish it wasn't the case, but yes, and that's the same. It's the same answer when someone asks, "Why isn't Notre Dame in a conference?" or "Why does Notre Dame get preferential treatment?" Because they're one of the biggest brands in the sport, and their TV deal is worth millions, and millions will tune in whenever they play.
But as a college football fan, though, Reese, do you want, if I told you 10-2 Notre Dame or 10-2 Kansas gets in, would you have a preference? I would say 10-2 Notre Dame.
I wouldn't have a preference.
You would have a preference on that?
I wouldn't care.
Or 10-2 Notre Dame or 10-2 Illinois?
Well, obviously Illinois.
I'd want Notre Dame in.
Okay.
I just think it's better TV. It's better. It's a better story for us in the media we're in, though. It's also better, I think, to have Notre Dame in.
I don't agree, but
do you know any Notre
point.
Dame fans?
I know several. I work with a few.
Okay. Do you know any Illinois fans?
I work for one.
Okay, one. Okay, I'm saying, like, I know a lot more. I don't know many people that are like Illinois fans. I know a bunch of Notre Dame fans.
The more this playoff goes and the more it expands, the more I find myself rooting for Big Ten teams to make it in.
I got you. By the way, that makes you old.
I am.
That's an older soul than you are.
That's fine.
That's older than you. I'm not criticizing you. I'm just saying that makes you older.
Yeah, so here's the thing I found with Sam Pittman. If he's 500 or above since 2021, which he is right now, Razorbacks would owe him $9.8 million. If he's under 500, it'd be $6.9 million. He's 29-27 after today, after their loss to Notre Dame.
Do you think Arkansas's brass is
they
rooting
keep
against
him around for 3 more games. And they put him under 500. Then they fire him, saving themselves $3 million. Real quick about Florida State. So they take an L to Virginia last night in double overtime, 46-38. Seminoles did get robbed on that replay.
They did.
But Virginia got fined $50,000 today by the ACC for rushing the field. Which I think it's worth it if you're Virginia.
Did you see the way the stadium's set up? Though, like the fans,
they were ready to go.
They're right there,
right as soon as the final whistle sounded.
Yeah, I don't blame them one bit. I would rush it. I'm not a Virginia fan. I would do the same damn thing.
Did Fernando Mendoza have a Heisman moment today? We'll discuss that in 2 minutes. It's College Game Night on the Fan.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I cannot imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain for Toyota West. And with over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of 0 down and 0 payments until 2026. And every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. Offer expires 9/30. No payments for deferred payment. Interest accrues at time of inception with approved credit.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan. 2 jabronis talking football.
Thank you, football god.
No better way to spend a Saturday. This is Fan College Football Game Night.
Yes, it is. Reeser and Tito for the next 90 minutes.
Oh, good Lord. I thought we were done at 10:30. Now I got to be
Unfortunately, no. You're with me for an extra half hour. But they'll pay you for it.
No, they won't. It's the same price. It's the same price. I'm not hourly. I'm just flat rate.
They'll bill you, maybe.
That's fine, yeah.
It is halftime in Athens. Alabama's up 24-14 over Georgia. So the nation's longest home winning streak might fall after tonight. The nation's second longest one fell earlier today, with Ohio State getting that 24-6 win over Washington. Buckeyes are home against Minnesota.
If I wanted to be a jerk, I'd ask you who the next one is if Georgia loses, because that'd be show prep, but maybe Isaiah.
I could definitely find it for you. I know we discussed it this week because it is.
I keep leaning on him.
While it's not indicative of this Washington team.
Sure.
Because certainly when you think like Dan Lanning's not won a game in Seattle, you go, wow, Washington's dominated Oregon, and they've been the better team between the two. Certainly in the year Washington made the national championship game. But this is year 2 under Jed Fish. This is a completely different Washington operation.
Mm-hmm.
And you wondered, with today and how they would handle the bright lights in the big stage.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can answer that question with Washington, how it's going to go. Because early on in the game, when they got called, or they should have gotten flagged for having a coach in the white area.
Yeah.
That obviously should be a sideline warning,
mm-hmm.
but they got flagged for it. And then Fish runs out and he's screaming at the Big Ten officials. I understand his anger, but you'd probably in that situation have to be better because that cost your team 15 yards.
Yes.
And it really throws off the flow of your offense.
Totally does, yeah.
So it was a ref show, but they're Big Ten refs. And I do feel like since the Big Ten became the Big Ten, they've just been bad. Like they were out there kind of acting like Teddy Valentine.
Fair. Yeah, I think you're right.
You got to take 90 seconds for a review. If it takes longer, you should be launched into Lake Washington.
Right.
At least in my opinion today. But you got to know that if you're Jed Fish.
Yes, I think so. Yep.
And it was funny. We were talking about the Virginia fine for $50,000 for rushing the field. Like, do you think Illinois is going to get fined by the Big Ten for what their student section did? I hope not.
No, but I'm like, I don't understand. I'm not, and this is me now being the old soul.
Uh-huh.
I don't get the rushing the field. I don't get
it. Looked like Hawkeye fans were ready to rush today.
They probably were.
Because they acted like Fernando Mendoza throws a really bad interception with about, 2 minutes left to go in the game.
Yeah.
And you think, well, I was going to go down and kick a field goal. Well, they missed the field goal.
Mm-hmm.
And then Fernando Mendoza, I think, connects on a Heisman moment. It was a 49-yard touchdown pass that when Iowa decides to rush everybody, Mendoza sees his guy open on an inside slant, and he does the rest of the work. Indiana, for some reason, then he decided to run into the back of the end zone with 2 seconds left. And so Indiana ends up with the 20-15 win. But because of the injury to John Mateer, Mendoza had the best odds to win the Heisman right now in week 5. That's the kind of play that because nobody nationally is going to watch Indiana, Iowa.
No, Mateer had his Heisman moment against Auburn.
Yeah.
Like that drive, that touchdown, he had his Heisman moment and then gets hurt. So, yes, Mendoza had his today then. Yeah, you're right.
Because nobody's watching Iowa, Indiana, certainly because it's on Peacock. But when Heisman voters,
yes,
of which one of us might be one,
that's right. That's a flex.
Looking at what happened over the weekend, Sunday morning, before the Steelers play the Vikings in Dublin.
I get it.
They look to see the highlight plays. And certainly Fernando Mendoza's touchdown to ice the game against Iowa will be that.
Isaiah, what do you have for us?
But is it, now in that same vein, when I'm looking at their schedule the rest of the way, with Oregon and Penn State on the road, I feel like his Heisman moment has to come up in those 2 games. It has to.
But you have to do this to get to that. Indiana has to go into that game, I think, in 2 weeks against the Oregon Ducks unblemished. That game has to matter, like, with those kind of ramifications, top 10 matchup. Like, because if Oregon loses, they're probably not going to fall. They might fall to 9 or 10. But that's still going to be, I think,
a top 10. Yes,
top 10 matchup.
You would think. But Reeser, okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Reeser. If you had to cast your vote today, would it be Mendoza?
No, I think today it's still Mateer.
Until a couple more games get in the books.
Yeah, I think he'll lose those stat accumulation games. He'll obviously lose the Red River rivalry if he's not going to play in that game, so he doesn't get any of the stats or the moments from that. But if they can bring him back in, mid-November, he can have a couple of games, and OU needs to do their part to keep them in it. Yeah, I think there's still a chance for him, but I can understand why he was dropped from Heisman odds.
I've been in warehouses where they have a sign up, like a whiteboard, that says it's been this many days since our last workplace injury.
Mm-hmm.
If we had one here, I'd say it's been 0 days since Reeser reminded me he's a Heisman voter. I'm not.
I think I do it often.
I think every week you do it, dude. I don't think you do. I don't think you know you do. I think you do it subtly.
Should I just get a T-shirt?
Look, it's fine. Whatever.
I don't know how you don't have one. They give them to everybody.
No. Don't. That makes you feel worse.
I'm not sitting here telling you I earned it.
Tito, you can do this. It's easy, and I can't do it. I feel like an idiot because you said it was easy. You just said, you get one. How you don't have one. That makes you feel even worse.
I am an idiot.
You're an elitist. You're an elitist.
Everybody.
You're an elitist.
Well, it's my upbringing.
Not everybody.
It's my upbringing. You certainly understand.
Isaiah, you got one? Heisman voter?
I wish, man.
Yeah, me either. I know.
I wish.
I know. Me either.
Reese will vote for both of us, right?
Right. Yeah, it's fine. He's Mr. Reeser.
I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Do you see where he parks? Right up there. The no parking is not. It's not for you and I. No parking. He gets to park there.
It's not even a spot where I park. I'm like on the curb.
Yes, right. That's what it is. It's Reeserville. That's what it is.
You're just living in it, brother.
Yes.
But to the Indiana-Oregon conversation, and to really Indiana with Fernando Mendoza, who gives his post-game press conferences on the field like he's like a Boy Scout. Like it's strange how just peppy he is with it.
Right.
And fine. I mean, if that's who you are, that's who. It was kind of like Tebow light. Right?
Yeah, Tebow-esque. Yes, it was. You're right.
Everything was great. Everybody was great. And certainly that's a deviation from Curt Cignetti as head coach.
Yes.
But if he's going to continue on this trajectory, to Isaiah, to your point, Indiana's still got to be 5-0. And now they are in that matchup in Eugene on October 11th. Now, Oregon can be 4-1, but it's the Oregon Ducks. And so that game's going to have a lot of eyeballs on it.
Absolutely.
To see if he can, do one better than what he did in that game against Illinois.
It's, yes. And I hate Curt Cignetti. I'm going to eat crow on this because I always said that last year was Indiana's best year they'll ever have in football.
Well,
and I might be wrong.
This is the first time all time that they've started back-to-back seasons 5-0.
They got to play Oregon and Penn State both.
They do.
They're going to lose at least one of those.
Probably.
If they lose 2, we'll get to 10-2 Indiana against 10-2 Notre Dame, then we'll talk about it.
And you're going to have 10-2 Indiana, 10-2 Notre Dame, and probably 9-3 SEC team.
Yeah.
Maybe 9-3
right, yeah.
Alabama. Saying, well, we should be in the college football playoff because Indiana ain't played nobody. But that will not be obviously true.
Craig says, Tito, there are 928 Heisman voters. Do you feel better?
Yeah, there's so many.
I don't.
No.
I don't feel better.
At least it's not 50 in each state, obviously, because that isn't.
No, we got 928, and I'm not one of them. How many years have you been doing it?
Several.
Here we go.
Maybe 2017 or 2018.
Well, that's more than several. Several's like 3. You're talking damn near a decade.
Yeah, I won't think it's a decade, but
it's damn near a decade. If it's 18, it's close.
Sure. I'd also have Carson Beck up there. Now, the U's idle. Like I said before, they don't leave the state of Florida until the month of November. But when you watch some of the quarterback play around the country, like you certainly look at Cade Klubnik and you go, what happened?
Isaiah, I feel like I can't argue with him now.
What do you mean?
Like whatever he says
been
about
a decade.
I mean,
but if he says like this quarterback's really good,
I make bad points all the time.
I don't think he's really good. I can't say it. Like you talk about Carson Beck.
Garrett Nussmeier, what is you doing?
Okay, you're right. Now, if I say Garrett Nussmeier's great, it won't hold the same weight because he's a Heisman Trophy voter.
You're 100% correct.
I can say Garrett Nussmeier's not great because he's not.
But then if I say he's great, then it looks less than you.
Why would you say he's great?
Because you're a voter. I might not say it, but whatever I say.
He won't say it now.
No, I'm not going to say it. Whatever you say, I have to agree with now about quarterbacks and Heisman Trophy stuff. We can talk about teams, but Heisman Trophy stuff, whatever you say, Mr. Reeser.
I'm trying to talk about LSU.
You've got a C on your jersey. I don't have an A on mine.
Well, would you like for $10,000 you can have mine.
I don't want to have that. No.
$10,000. I will write whomever you want to in that ballot.
No.
It was a couple weeks ago, I think, when LSU beat Florida, and Brian Kelly sat down for his post-game press conference, and that reporter's like, "What's wrong with your offense?" He's like, "We just won a game. Yeah, nothing's wrong with my offense."
Yeah.
I wonder what that reporter said today, because LSU takes a 24-19 loss at Ole Miss. It's always strange when you involve Lane Kiffin in anything. Obviously, that with LSU's captain and linebacker, what Weeks, dating his daughter, and now he's responding to people on social media. The fact that he told somebody in a social media post mentioning his daughter and who his daughter's dating to take the over.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think it hit. It might have been close, but you definitely can't lose that game. And it also feels for Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss. They don't win games like that.
They don't, which is huge for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian Kelly, I don't know. The thing was, I don't know who I hate more, Brian Kelly or Lane Kiffin.
Well,
who would you
I would say that Brian Kelly is responsible for more workplace incidents than Lane Kiffin.
Yep. Lane Kiffin, though, also kind of the way he did Tennessee. I'm not going anywhere.
He was like 28 or 29, and I don't hold that too much against him.
And then the USC thing
was funny. He got left on the tarmac.
I know he got fired on the tarmac.
Like the Lane Kiffin college football, like the Lane Kiffin book.
Yeah,
is going to be a hilarious read.
Yes, I think he's great in the media. I like Lane Kiffin in the media a lot more than Brian Kelly.
He's good for college football. I think Brian Kelly's a fraud.
That's fair. I think that's fair. Yeah,
I think he can win you a lot of games, but he will never bring you to the precipice of where you want to go as a program that thinks of themselves every single season national championship or bust.
When they play each other, I'm rooting more for Lane Kiffin than for Brian Kelly.
Yeah. If it's a Brian Kelly coach team.
Yes.
Yeah. Give me whomever else it is.
Yeah, I'm with you.
How's the Big Ten look after week 5 of the college football season? We'll discuss that next. It's College Game Night on The Fan.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Earn 2% cash back on purchases and pay 0% APR on balance transfers for 15 months with a new Kemba Financial Credit Union Visa. That's more rewards and less interest. Apply at Kemba.org. For purchases and balance transfers made in the first 90 days, restrictions apply. APR equals annual percentage rate. Variable and subject to change. Equal opportunity lender expires 10/31/25.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good. Now at Great Lakes Hyundai, lease 2 Elantras for $222. That's right, lease 2 new 2025 Elantra SEs for just $222 a month for a 2-year lease. Both your new Elantras come with owner assurance and America's Best Warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. In Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit, $39.99 down per unit plus taxes and fees. First month payment, 10K miles per year, ends 9/30.
Looking to launch a career in the skilled trades but don't know where to begin? Part-time service in the Ohio Army National Guard can help. You can kickstart your career by enlisting in one of our many trades-based jobs. Get paid to learn these skills and gain on-the-job training when you report to your unit 1 weekend a month or 2 weeks in the summer. To learn how the Guard can pay for your civilian trade certification, visit nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard in coordination with the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
We believe everyone deserves access to fresh food. That's why the Kroger Company created the Zero Hunger, Zero Waste program to share fresh food with the people in our communities. Our program and foundations have donated 3 billion meals since 2017. That's nearly 10 meals for every person in the U.S. Together, we can do more for our neighbors. Just round up your purchase at checkout. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Don't miss the Right Rug Flooring Outlet Super Sale. Save up to 80% on truckloads of floors and more, including tiles starting at 19 cents a square foot and a massive selection of carpet, luxury vinyl, laminate, and hardwood, even installation supplies. Everything you need for your next project. Save up to 80% during the Right Rug Flooring Outlet Super Sale on Poth Road in Whitehall. Hurry, the Outlet Super Sale ends September 30th. Dealers welcome.
You're kind of cute. Ugh, gross. Can I come over to your house one time and you not have your husband prancing around in its tidy whities?
Well, I can't do laundry because our septic line is clogged.
Call Dormar. They do same-day plumbing repair. Dormar! You're kind of cute.
Rothman and Ice.
It's more evidence that you need to subscribe to the rule Bobby and I subscribe to.
What's that?
If you can't get a yard, you don't deserve to win.
Rothman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're over 50, it's likely that you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
Thank you for calling Spectrum. My name is Angie, and I'm in Orlando, Florida. How can I help you today?
Great. You're still there. It must be like 3 a.m.
We're always here 24/7. What can I do for you?
I know it's late, but I wanted to ask you about the best place to set up my router.
It's never too late. We'll have you up and running in no time.
Only Spectrum has 24/7, 100% U.S.-based customer support. It's only everything. Spectrum fiber-powered internet. It's the fastest and most reliable internet. Go to spectrum.com to learn more.
Everybody poops, everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick.
Enjoy all the football this weekend, but remember to join us for Reaction Monday.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan. Just when you thought afternoons couldn't get any dumber.
You fellas been doing a bit of boozing, have you?
Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
Your home for dumb. The Fan. Hot takes from the early games, bad predictions for the nightcaps. This is Fan College Football Game Night.
You know, in the offseason, after Ohio State wins the national championship, you thought, all right, what did the Buckeyes need from the transfer portal? Because that's how college football is now, right?
Sure.
You have a team, however they finish, you look at the roster, you look at who's coming back, you say, okay, where are the weaknesses? And for Ohio State, I don't know not necessarily weaknesses at the running back position, but you wanted to solidify a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
With the defensive front, you had a lot of unknowns. And so you go out and get Bo Atkinson from North Carolina. And then in the running back room, you get C.J. Donaldson.
From West Virginia?
Yep. For Penn State, you had to do one thing, and that was get a deep threat.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have Tyler Warren anymore.
Right.
And they didn't do it. And that is why I believe truly you see a 3-3 ball game in Happy Valley, 6 and change left to go in the third quarter. Because that Penn State offense, despite Katron Allen and Nicholas Singleton being really good players,
sure,
the rest of it stinks. Because I don't buy Drew Aller.
I don't buy Drew. Look,
he's 7 of 13 on the evening. Allen and Singleton have 7 carries apiece. Katron is averaging 3 yards a carry. Singleton, half of that, 1.6.
I don't buy James Franklin.
Well, couldn't blame you.
I don't know. Here's my question to you then, Reese. Would you rather have James Franklin or Sherrone Moore as your head coach?
You asked me this question like 3 weeks ago.
I think I did.
And I think I said Sherrone.
Okay, where are we at now?
I think I'm still with Sherrone.
Isaiah, where are you?
I'm with James Franklin. I don't know if I can do Sherrone Moore, but let me ask you this, Reese. What would James have to do to change it? Like, if he wins tonight, does that change it? Or does he have to do more?
Yes, no.
I think winning tonight changes it.
I don't want to say he just has to win tonight, but yeah, he has to win tonight.
Like, Dan Lanning out of Oregon, he's a good coach. Like, I love Dan Lanning. What he's been able to do with every single quarterback that comes through there, he's been fantastic. Where James Franklin, if he wins this game tonight, does that change my opinion of him? Yes, but until he beats the Buckeyes, I don't know.
That's fair.
I will say, okay, now, look, fine, I asked you 3 weeks ago. That's fair. I'm on a lot of stupid shows.
Can I get Biff Poggi instead of James Franklin and Sherrone Moore? I'll take in Biff Poggi.
Here's my next question.
He can't have sleeves on his shirt.
I'm going to ask you a question. The next 2 years, in the next 5 years, would you rather be Indiana or Clemson?
2 years Clemson,
think about it.
2 years Indiana, 2 years Indiana, 5 years Indiana.
Both.
Yeah. Because I think Signetti's not going anywhere.
Okay.
And I think Dabo...
You think Clemson's run its course?
I do. I think Dabo's going to get 2 more years at Clemson because he's got 2 national championships.
I think so, too.
And so I don't think it won't happen this season, regardless of how Clemson finishes. But the idea that he's made that program a nationally dominant power for the better part of my life gives him a little bit more space, and it shouldn't.
Isaiah?
This year was a dagger for Dabo.
So you're going 2 years Indiana?
I think so. And
5 years?
5 years is tough because I don't know if Signetti, does he hold on for 5? Does he not get going somewhere else? I don't know. But I think with Clemson, I don't think Dabo's there in 5 years, and I have no idea who can get that program going again.
Okay, so my thought is this, that in the next 5 years, Indiana will not win a Big Ten championship.
Okay,
Clemson
but they don't
could.
need to.
They don't have to. I'm saying Clemson could.
Clemson has to.
That's fine. They have to. I'm saying Clemson has a better chance, though, in the next 5 years of winning a conference championship than Indiana. Regardless who's coaching.
I agree, but the expectations are so different. And Dabo is the victim of his success.
Sure, yes.
Right?
The victim himself, too. He talked himself into the corner. Well, we're not doing NIL. A name, image, likeness of the Lord. It's what we're doing. That's fine. The Lord doesn't like Clemson,
The Lord didn't
apparently.
help him.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
I mean, I
Even
guess
if he takes Sundays off, still, they don't help him.
Well, look, we're all still here, so clearly.
Right, clearly, yes.
We survived the rapture.
Right.
I guess we didn't survive the rapture. We just got left behind.
Right.
So did Dabo.
Yes, right.
You're locked in with us.
I think in 2 years, it's probably Indiana. I think for 5 years, I'd take Clemson, but I think it's astonishing that we even have to have the conversation.
It is an indictment on where Clemson is as a program.
And where Indiana's come from.
Sure, but more so Clemson.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
We did also get an interview with Tyler Danberg, sideline reporter for the Ohio State Sports Network.
Busy.
They were trying to get the hell out of Seattle. And I understand because this week when they left a day early, I think Ryan wanted to keep the players' body clocks still on Eastern time because this was only a noon 30 kick out in Seattle. And so I think they're still trying to do that. So they get them back here sometime in the next couple of hours, and then they're able to relax on Sunday and keep everything pretty much as it was. This Ohio State operation, because we talk about Clemson and Indiana and Penn State and Oregon, and this program, I know Penn State likes to use the word unrivaled, but right now Ohio State feels, as a total program, as an overall package, unrivaled.
I will say this, Reeser, and I mean it as no disrespect to what Ryan Day does, but I think it's easy to coach Ohio State right now.
Sure.
I mean, it's like you've got money. People want to play for you. Transfers want to play for you. Coordinators want to be coordinators for you.
Yes.
It's because it leads to better things. And you always have an advantage. Every game, your guys, almost every game, if you're a defensive coordinator, almost every single freaking game, you've got more talent on the other side.
But
Same
he's
thing on offense.
maintained it for 6 years.
I know,
He's in his 7th season, and
it's wonderful. Yes. But I'm saying it's got to be, I got to believe it's easier now than it was 6 years ago.
I'm trying to think of the right way to answer that question because I disagree.
Oh.
Because I think college football has gotten so much more difficult to manage from a roster standpoint to a recruitment standpoint to even a game management standpoint to having to do the college football playoff.
I think it's more difficult for some schools.
It's more difficult for all of them. It got so difficult.
Easier for Ohio State.
College football ran Nick Saban.
Nick Saban ran himself. Nick Saban didn't want it.
I disagree.
I think that Ohio State, though, I think that, like for Ohio State, for Texas, for who do I think about next? Ohio State,
Texas, Oregon, Alabama, Georgia.
Alabama's probably tougher now than it used to be. I think Ohio State, though, I think it's easier now than it was before because of the resources and because of the prestige.
Well, I think the schools that I mentioned all have the similar resources.
I don't think Alabama's the money. I don't think Alabama's the money that Ohio State has.
Not the money, no.
Right.
But I think Georgia
Texas does. Georgia does. Yeah.
Oregon.
Oregon does for sure. Right? Yes. I think it's easier for those schools, though. Now, because everything now is supposed to be above board, which why the SEC's also take a step back is because now all of a sudden other schools can do it. I laugh at the idea that $30-40 million roster is a bad thing. Like when Kurt snitched on some of the schools, like he even threw Texas Tech in there. If I'm Ohio State, I'm as loud as I can from as high of a place as I can. We're spending a ton of money on our program because we are serious about this. And we get the best facilities.
It's the only way to do it.
Yep.
It's you got to spend. This is a professional sport. And if you want to be a poverty program like Alabama's claiming to be, then I cannot. Then
and that's why I think
there's no sympathy there.
Saban got out because Saban, once it became a more level playing field. And by the way, Alabama not on the same playing field as Ohio State, money wise.
But that's the yes.
All of a sudden,
there's less NIL. There's less NIL enthusiasm.
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean the DeBoer thing I think is the toughest ask in the history of college football.
Oh yeah, you don't want to be the guy to follow the guy. Saban. You don't be the guy that follows the guy that follows the guy.
But I would never consider what Ryan Day has to do and what Ryan Day has done is easy. I would never consider it as an easy place to win. I think what he has done in maintaining everything at Ohio State to the same level is something that we haven't. It's to the point where you're beating a team like Washington 24-6, and fans aren't happy after defending a national championship.
I heard the story about when, remember Chris Quinn from Dublin Coffin? Ended up, he was being recruited in college basketball, high level recruit.
He's on the Miami Heat staff right now.
Heat staff. He'll be an NBA coach someday. But yeah, anyway, when he was being recruited, the story I heard, Mike Krzyzewski said to him when he came to Duke for a visit, said, look, we recruit the top player at each position. We think you're second. So you're not a priority for us kind of thing. And that's why Quinn went to Notre Dame and did what he did. Great recruit. Honestly, like one of the top point guards in the country when it happened. And I think Ohio State's at that level now where they can say that. We don't need, we're going to take the best of the best.
Yes.
And they can be very selective about it.
But there are other schools with smaller war chests that are recruiting at the same level still. They're just not, because once you get them onto campus, it's one thing, but then you've got to develop them for the next level. And I think Ohio State maintaining that appeal is what's been the biggest factor in all of this.
Sure. No doubt. Yes.
So for Ryan Day, it's on to the next, and the next is Minnesota, Saturday night at 7:30. You'll hear from Ohio State's head coach on their win today, and so much more coming up. It's Fans College Game Night on The Fan.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast-track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Children with Down syndrome in Central Ohio need your support. Join 10TV, Newman Roofing, and the Down Syndrome Association of Central Ohio Sunday, October 5th for the 2025 Buddy Walk. Join thousands of participants as we come together to celebrate the uniqueness and resiliency of the Down syndrome community. Your participation and donations directly support programs and services for people with Down syndrome and their families. Together, we can make a meaningful impact and pave the way for a more inclusive future. Sunday, October 5th for the 2025 Buddy Walk.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
Now at Great Lakes Hyundai, lease 2 Elantras for $222. That's right, lease 2 new 2025 Elantra SEs for just $222 a month for a 2-year lease. Both your new Elantras come with owner assurance and America's Best Warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. In Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit, $39.99 down per unit plus taxes and fees. First month payment, 10K miles per year, ends 9/30.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound, that's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. This is the Fan's Game Day Scoreboard.
This game day update is sponsored by Mutual Federal, proudly serving Columbus with personal and business solutions at mutualfederal.com.
Good evening, I'm Isaiah Jacob with your sports update. Ohio State got a win on the road against Washington, 24-6. Julian Sayin threw for 208 yards and 2 touchdowns. Bo Jackson led the way on the ground with 17 carries and 80 yards. And then Jeremiah Smith had 8 catches for 81 yards and 1 touchdown. Right now, 6th-ranked Oregon is leading the way against 3rd-ranked Penn State, up 10-3 in the third quarter. We also have 17th-ranked Alabama leading against Georgia, 24-14. Then also earlier today, 13th ranked Ole Miss upset number 4 LSU 24-19. And your Cleveland Guardians are headed to the playoffs after beating the Rangers 3-2. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
This is Fan College Football Game Night. Scores, recaps, and hot takes.
Damn, I love football.
Hot. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
You heard that correctly. The Cleveland Guardians are going to the postseason. Now, we can't say, I'll correct Isaiah on one thing, can't say your, because we are Columbus's home for the Cincinnati Reds.
We were the home for the Guardians at one point.
While ago, I will say.
Not that long ago. 2 years? 3 years?
3 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Tito. It's longer than that?
Since I've been here.
Oh, really?
It has not been the case. And actually, since before I was here, because I worked at a station nobody listened to. Actually, you and I did a show on that station that nobody listened to.
Died shortly after that, but no offense.
How do you say not rest in peace?
You can't.
Okay.
Look, I had a great time with that.
They were the home of the Guardians.
Yes.
So it's been a minute. But the Reds right now. So as you heard Isaiah in the update, the Guardians did get the win tonight. 3-2 over the Texas Rangers. C.J. Kafis was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded in the bottom of the ninth to walk in the scoring and game-winning run. Now, for the Guardians, if they win tomorrow, if they beat the Texas Rangers tomorrow, they are AL Central champions.
Can I tell you how old I feel when I say this?
Just tell me.
Okay. I hate the Guardians.
Okay.
I have always hated the Indians, the Guardians, whatever. But I am so mature now. I root for them. Not for me. That'd be selfish. I'm a Reds fan.
Sure.
I root for them for people like you, like Shark, my buddy Jimmy DeTemple, Mike Marquis's dad, Gil. I root for all these people that have lived their lives and lived through, Jose Mesa, what was the guy who the Tony Fernandez? Not Tony Fernandez. Who was the guy for the Marlins? I can't remember who it was. Anyway, I root for you guys now because I've got my buddy DeTemple. He's got, when he went on a bourbon tour with his father-in-law, he was given a bottle of bourbon at like a Maker's Mark, is what it was. But it's encased, not to be opened until the Guardians win. I think the Guardians win the World Series.
Oh, boy.
And it's out there, written out like that if Jimmy passes away, it has to go to his son. No one can open it until the Guardians win the World Series, I think. So,
it's going to age well then.
For you guys, like I actually now root for you. I want my friends. I want them to experience a Guardians win in the World Series.
Aren't you a Reds fan?
I'm a huge Reds fan, yes.
Okay.
And I'm a Steelers fan, and I'm not so I hope the Browns, though. I hope for all these people that have rooted their lives, their lifetimes for these franchises, I hope they get to look, I've witnessed a Reds World Series. I've witnessed a Steelers Super Bowl. Okay? I've got that joy, Buckeye National Championship. I hope that you people, no offense, you people get a chance to have that kind of experience with the Guardians and also with the Browns.
So Cincinnati's still very much alive for a wild card spot.
Yep.
They are right now, the Reds, beating
7-4.
the Milwaukee Brewers 7-4. That game is in the top of the 9th from Milwaukee. Cincinnati must win tonight and then Sunday to have a chance, because it doesn't matter what the Mets do. The Reds own the tiebreaker over New York. So Cincinnati's got to win these two games, and then they will be postseason bound. You can hear Reds baseball tomorrow on the Fan 2. That's 1460 on the AM dial. First pitch, 310, 240 airtime. I was just looking while you were talking about the Guardians fan that you have that will never probably open that bottle of whiskey, because we do have NFL football tomorrow with the Cleveland Browns playing the Detroit Lions at 1 o'clock. There also is that game you can hear on the Fan with pregame coverage at 11 o'clock.
It's also on Comedy Central.
Sure. I think that as a Browns fan, that Cleveland gets Detroit on a short week.
Hey, look,
can play some pretty good defense.
They can.
And can run the ball. And I think you can make this a 14-10 Lions win and make it ugly as hell.
I was in the sports book in Vegas last weekend. I watched it. I can't believe the Browns did it.
Can't either.
But they did it.
On the Fan 2 tomorrow morning, you'll have Vikings and Steelers. So if you do want to hear some Dublin, Ireland football, you'll have that. I was just making sure that the Reds game did not get interfered with by international football that I don't think anybody really asked for. Like nobody asked for Steelers, Vikings in Dublin. Next week, nobody's going to ask for Vikings, Browns at Tottenham Stadium.
I hate the international games.
These aren't things that are asked for. But
I like the international games from like a viewing standpoint as a fan. But as a fan also, like, I think it sucks that teams lose home games because they're playing over there.
Yeah. It's going to be weird as hell watching Michigan play. I think it's Central Michigan.
Or Western Michigan, whatever it is, yeah.
It's directional Michigan, week 1 of next season. Sharon Moore is not going to have to go to that.
He's suspended, yes.
Which is still going to be hilarious to me. When we were at Ohio State camp, I had asked Ross about the idea of going overseas and playing a game. And he said, we'll never give up a home game to do that.
Never.
Said if somebody wants to pay us and give up their home game, that's something you might see. Because in this era of college football, you're kind of looking for, you're shaking out all of the couch cushions. You're trying to find money from wherever. And so I understand the international approach, even from the NFL, because they think it opens them up to new markets, thus more revenue, because it's the insatiable appetite that always demands more money.
But as a fan, I'm not the ownership. I don't care.
Yeah, you're right.
The home field advantage matters.
Two different conversations.
If it matters, then don't give it up. Like in the NFL, home field advantage of the playoffs does matter.
Yes.
And if I'm giving up a home game that might affect if I have home field advantage in the playoffs, no way in hell. I don't want to do it. I'd say it feels the same way in baseball, basketball, all of it. I'm not giving up a home game. If you tell me home field advantage is important, then I'm not giving up a home game. I don't care.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that Ohio State's at least taking that stance.
I love that, yes.
Michigan, the leaders and the best, clearly are for sale.
They are.
Which is fine. I think Michigan's off this week.
They need the money to pay fines.
Well, that is true. I think like 10%.
Whatever they got to do.
Is whatever has to go to the NCAA,
Yes.
and then like their entire postseason revenue pool.
Yes.
Yes, I was correct. Wolverines are off this week. They're playing Wisconsin on October 4th. It'll be the Buckeyes and the Golden Gophers next Saturday in Columbus at 7:30. Homecoming for the home team. Ohio State 1-0 in Big Ten play. Indiana at top of the conference right now at 2-0. And I think this conference is kind of going to go chalk. Right, you're going to see Ohio State and probably Oregon in the Big Ten championship game. The Ducks right now lead Penn State 10-3.
Okay.
With 15 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. And I don't know if Penn State can score a touchdown. Wasn't this Andy Kotelnicki offense with Drew Aller at a quarterback supposed to be something? What are we missing? Oh, they're missing the deep threat.
Yes. And the Drew Aller thing, look, fine, Ohio guy, all that kind of stuff, whatever. I've never bought into him.
No.
You've got all the intangibles.
Sure.
You know what? So did Ron Powlus. So did Jeff George. You know what I mean?
You can be big. You can have a cannon for an arm.
Yes.
You can be great in high school.
But it doesn't, it's not.
There was a reason Ohio State said no thanks.
Yes.
You know, for all the idea that you've got to build a fence around Ohio, nowadays you don't.
No, you
want some of the best, but if you can get better elsewhere from around the country, you do.
Yes. I've never been a Drew Aller guy. I've never been a James Franklin guy, so it would not surprise me at all. I hadn't surprised. I picked Oregon in most of the confidence, not confidence, most of the pick contests I did.
How many pick contests are you in,
I've
Tito?
got 3 that I'm in.
How do you keep track of all of that?
Dude, I don't. I've got 4 personal fantasy football leagues. I've got 10 that I run for other people. And then I've also got these different pick things I do.
Do you just wait for the Venmo requests in the morning?
I get Venmo,
and then just assume they're correct? Like, that seems
No,
right.
they pay me before the season starts, and I do that. I've got like 10 that I'm running for people.
Did you do that? How long have you been doing that?
About 5 years doing that.
Because I knew a guy in like high school who was always doing the March Madness pools.
Yeah.
And so you'd meet him in the library, you'd hand him your bracket, you'd pay the $5, and he's organizing all this stuff.
This company I do some work for is called Fantasy Draft Proxies, and people pay for us to draft for them.
What?
Yeah. It's like, look, fantasy football now is like bowling leagues in the 70s, but like it's a social thing.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes people in the offices want to be like, oh, I want to get into it because I want to be able to communicate and stuff. And so, but they don't know about football. And so they hire us. I did probably 70 drafts between August and the start of the season, start of NFL.
My God.
Yeah. And then also then some people say, I want you to run my team for the season. And so I've got their login information, and I literally go in there and set their lineup every week, make trade requests, waiver pickups, all that kind of stuff. For like
when have you been doing this? For how long?
About 5 years doing this.
That's too much. Like I used to be a guy that could do like 4 or 5 fantasy teams, and then I didn't enjoy it, and so I went down to 1, and I didn't enjoy that. So now I do none.
What I do is
I just never had fun doing it.
All the money I make doing this stuff,
I donate to charity.
Okay.
I'm giving you the out here.
I take it with me on my annual Vegas trip with the guys.
There it is.
And sometimes I bring money back, sometimes I don't. But all that money, that's my Vegas trip. My other guy too. That's our Vegas money. Our spouses say, do that. That's your Vegas money.
6.5 minutes to go from Athens, the Georgia flavor. Alabama leads Georgia 24-21. Bulldogs just made it a 3-point game. Again, Georgia with the nation's longest home winning streak. The team with the nation's second longest home winning streak was Washington. I say was because Ohio State went in there and handed them a 24-6 loss. Man who was on the sideline for it all joined me earlier this evening. You'll hear my conversation with Tyler Danberg coming up next. It's College Game Night on The Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
Dormar, you're kind of cute. Ugh, gross. Can I come over to your house one time and you not have your husband prancing around in its tighty-whities?
Well, I can't do laundry because our septic line is clogged.
Call Dormar. They do same-day plumbing repair. Dormar, you're kind of cute.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up. You get early payout on parlays too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good. Now at Great Lakes Hyundai, save on new 2025 Sonatas with 0% financing for 60 months. 0% while supplies last. Columbus or Dublin or glexhyundai.com.
Reds fans, now is the time to get your 2026 season tickets. Lock in the best seats, biggest savings, and members-only perks all year long. Choose a plan that fits your schedule and enjoy ultimate flexibility with our exchange program. Can't make a game? Swap it for another. Plus, season ticket members have guaranteed access to 2026 opening day, postseason, and more. Visit Reds.com/membership to catch all the Reds action at Great American Ballpark next season.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay. How about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront cost before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
The football season now stretches from August to late January, and we can't afford not to be at our very best all season. Hey guys, it's Eric Reeser, and if you're like me, looking at the calendar wondering how you're going to stay at 100% for the next 5 months, do what I did, go see my friends at Hydrate Me Med Spa. I went to their Grandview location, got hooked up with a fast vitamin push that's got me feeling better than I have in years, and the NAD Plus has me thinking better too. From IV to aesthetic treatments, look great, feel great at Hydrate Me Med Spa. 4 locations, Grandview, Granville, New Albany, and Dublin. Book your appointment at hydratememedspa.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you're a sports card fan like me, you've got to check out Midwest Cards in the Arena District, right outside Nationwide Arena. These guys are true collectors themselves, and they've built a shop that lets you experience card collecting in a whole new way. They've got sealed boxes, packs, single cards, signed memorabilia, and plenty of TVs in their lounge. Yeah, they have a lounge. And don't forget the card bar, where you can open packs while you have an adult beverage. It's awesome. Stop by Midwest Cards today and tell them T-Bone sent you.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
I'm meteorologist Aaron White here with your 10 weather impact forecast. There is a very slight chance for an isolated shower or thunderstorm here today. Better chances arriving going into tomorrow, and even more rain chances in the forecast looking ahead to next week. We'll see highs in the 80s here for tomorrow with a chance for showers and storms in the afternoon into the evening hours. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast here on 97.1 The Fan.
This is Fan College Football Game Night, your home of all things football.
All you boys think about is football.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Kind enough now to be joined on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline, doing things a little bit on the fly. I have lost Jeff Thidoff somewhere. We'll try to get him back later in the program. But Tyler Danberg, the sideline reporter for the Ohio State Sports Network, so kind enough to join us as they get out of Dodge. The Buckeyes with a big win against the Washington Huskies today. They said it was a sellout, 72,485 fans. Tyler, what was it like for you in that stadium on the sideline?
It was excruciatingly loud, Eric. Thank you so much for having me. It was everything that you could have expected and more. But you know what was so cool? And a lot of the guys post-game and head coach Ryan Day really weighed in on it. They were so impressed with the turnout from Ohio State. I mean, on the Buckeyes bench and behind it, it was packed. It was packed with scarlet fever. And I think that was really, really cool. Carson Winston after the game said it didn't even really feel much like an away game. Now, Washington, their crowd came to play. There's no doubt about it. They could have set the decibel record. That's what they were trying to do. But it was really cool to see the Ohio State alum base and the fan base travel all over the country and world to get out to this ball game.
Tyler, did you get a chance to hop onto one of those sailgate barges?
Oh, I wish. You know, Paul, you would have thought that Paul Keels and Jim Lachey would have gotten free rides on a pontoon boat, but they love the atmosphere.
I think we're going to be nitpicking this Ohio State offense until the end of November, Tyler, but you get a 24-6 win over a previously unbeaten Washington program at a place they haven't lost in 22 games. For Julian Sain, 22 of 28, 208 yards and 2 touchdowns. What did you see from Julian from the first half to the second half? What stood out to you the most about the quarterback?
Well, I think it's the poise and the noise. He never let the moment get too big for him. I go back to that first drive when they weren't able to cash in, but Julian, you could tell that the crowd certainly affected it. He was cupping up his hands to his helmet, just trying to get the play call for Brian Hartline, and after that, he just really settled in. I think the biggest thing that stood out again is 22 for 28. Then took care of the football, turned the ball over, or didn't turn the ball over, and that's. Ryan Day always talks about he wants his quarterbacks to complete over 70% of their passes. And Julian Sain continues to just do that consistently, game in, game out. That's all you want for a first-year quarterback in his first pro start in an environment like this.
Yeah, Tyler, do you think through 4 games he's seeing the field better than he was in week 1?
I think so. I think that the decision-making is something that he did really well against Texas. And then I think Ohio – maybe having those 2 interceptions, which may have been really his fault, but the fact that he was able to kind of get through that and learn from it and have that bye week, I think that definitely played into, okay, I'm not going to make that mistake again. Or I'm just going to, like that second interception 2 weeks ago, maybe now he's going down in the pocket and it's under duress and it's the football. And there were times where, the offensive line was so great today, where he didn't really have many of those instances, but there were a couple times in crucial spots in the front side of the field where he just discarded the football, threw the ball away, and I think that those are going to be the rest of this year to play as turnover-free a football as he can.
Tyler Danberg, our guest, he's the sideline reporter for the Ohio State Sports Network, as him, Jim, Paul, Skip, and the rest of the Ohio State football team look to get out of Dodge, a 24-6 win earlier today at Husky Stadium. Tyler, it was a day if your name was Caden for this Ohio State defensive front. How did you see them bottle up and really keep DeMond Williams in front of them for all 4 quarters?
It was suffocating. It was absolutely suffocating. Caden Curry on the outside and then on the inside, and then Caden McDonald. They racked up 8 tackles for loss between the 2 of them. They had 4 sacks each. They were just absolutely dominant. And I think there were times where maybe the offense didn't sputter, but in that first half, it was held up until that last touchdown at the end of the half, which swung things in a better direction. But the defense, there were instances where they were on the field for a lot. And I think their ability just to come out and play great football and to have that energy was just so crucial. And I think they really picked up their teammates on the defensive and offensive side of the ball just to show them that, we're here to back you up. We're going to keep playing consistent football and help you out.
It felt like, Tyler, earlier this week, just talking about the game and everything leading up to it, that Ohio State kind of had the perfect athletes on the defensive side of the ball to deal with the mobile quarterback and a running back like Washington had, and his, the Boston, the receiver. What'd you see from Orville Reese and Sonny Styles and just keeping everything else from that Washington attack in front of them?
You're spot on, Eric. You look at the first 4 games of the year, and the Buckeyes have played a mobile quarterback. Arch Manning, Xavier Tisick, Parker Navarro, now Damon Williams. Now, Damon Williams is probably the most athletic out of that bunch, but you could tell that he wasn't really able to generate much. And you look at those 4 quarterbacks, and they're averaging just about 4 yards a carry. So they did a great job just caging them in and containing them all game long. And there was really no room for Williams to show off that big play capability after really that first half.
It was an electric atmosphere, an electric game. If you're an Ohio State fan, 4-0, the Buckeyes open 1-0 in Big Ten play with a 24-6 win over Washington. Minnesota, the opponent next week. Tyler Danberg will be back on the sidelines at the Shoe next Saturday night, but he joins us today, courtesy the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Tyler, thanks so much for the time. Safe travels back to Columbus, and we'll talk to you next week. All right, bud?
Eric, thank you so much. Talk to you soon.
As we were having that conversation, Drew Allard decided to complete a deep-ish ball, 35 yards for a touchdown. You've got now Penn State with some life, still trailing Oregon 17-10 with about 10 and a half minutes left to go in the fourth quarter.
Oh, was that a fumble by Alabama? I said complete pass. Okay. But Alabama, Georgia also, yes. 24-21 Alabama in Georgia. They had a couple opportunities to really, one was a touchdown for sure, and the other one would have been a first down. They punted it away, forced Alabama to be first and 10 on their own 8-yard line, and now it's 3rd and 10 for Alabama, just under, 3 minutes to go in that game.
So that's in Athens. Again, the Bulldogs have the nation's longest home winning streak.
Yep.
Just elsewhere from the Big Ten today and kind of this afternoon, UCLA at one point trailed 17-0 at Northwestern.
Right.
They managed to score 2 touchdowns somehow, a field goal, 2 field goals, and they went for it. But 17-14 was the rally that just came up short against Northwestern at probably my second favorite Big Ten stadium now after watching, what was it, Husky Stadium? Like just that scene.
Oh, yeah. That thing.
Like Northwestern just sitting on the lake should just do that.
I don't know the problem. Why not just keep that?
Yeah.
Save the money.
Well, they got a bunch of money for the new Ryan Field, so they're going to complete that. Minnesota edges Rutgers 31-28. Gophers improved to 1-0 in Big Ten play, 3-1 overall. That's Ohio State's opponent next Saturday night. Number 23, Illinois gets a big win over number 21, USC, 34-32. It was the Illini that fumbled the ball into the end zone that allowed USC to tie things up, or USC to take the lead, rather, but Luke Altmaier got the Illini in a game-winning field goal position. It was a 41-yarder to improve Illinois to 4-1 overall, 1-1 in Big Ten play. Fernando Mendoza leads number 11 Illinois over Iowa,
Indiana over Iowa.
Indiana, thank you. 20-13 really, but then he took a safety for some reason at the end of the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why he decided to run all the way back into the end zone because the clock had already reached 0.
Right, just take a knee there at that point.
Fall
right?
down.
Yeah. Just fall down, yes.
But he didn't, so that's what's going on outside of the game that you all probably either watched or heard right here on the Fan. Ohio State 24-6 over Washington. It was a masterclass defensively for Ohio State, the 4th in 5 weeks for Matt Patricia, which you had asked me at the beginning of the show about Jim Knowles, and I think nobody misses him here.
How many teams, like if the Big Ten stays at 18, the way college football is going to change, but like right now, under this format, this 18-team Big Ten, how many teams do you think can legitimately compete for a Big Ten title out of the 18? But in your lifetime,
5.
Okay. Ohio
State, Oregon, Michigan, Penn State.
Okay, that's 4.
Indiana,
you think?
Washington. Let me replace Indiana with Washington. I think Jed Fish gets it to. I think Jed Fish.
Not USC?
I don't think it's going to work for Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, but
they had everything go their way at Illinois today, and they still couldn't get a win.
So, like, my whole point is that there's like 11 teams then at the least 11 teams that you and I both believe will never win a Big Ten championship in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Is that bad or good?
Bad.
I think so too.
I think it's bad. I think it's not healthy for the sport.
Yeah,
to have as few parity is a good thing.
Well, East and West, those West teams sucked, but they still one of them was going to play for the championship every year. That's no longer the case. I do like the fact that they take the two best teams record-wise and put them in the championship game.
You also. Yep, I hate the idea that you had Nebraska making it out of the West or out of the Leaders Division, the Legends Division, or whichever it was, because they had the best record among those teams.
Yeah.
I do think the merit has to come from the two best teams in the conference playing each other.
Yeah.
Damn if it's Ohio State and Michigan in back-to-back years.
Right.
But I think with a playoff that will expand hopefully, maybe just 16.
And stop.
Maybe we stop at that. Stop. I do think it's, of note that earlier this week when you had the Power 4 commissioners, you had, was it Notre Dame's athletic director meeting in Chicago? Mm-hmm. They were throwing out the 24 and the 26 teams. Playoff formats, I think, is a way to say, well, it could be this, so just give us 16.
Yeah, 16.
We'll go to 24.
We're fine at 16.
Yeah, they were fine at 4. But you always have to have more. You always have to have, so you can't
won't ever go back. You won't
go back from 12.
There's no way.
But if you can go to 16, maybe just keep it there.
Yeah.
It will give more teams chances.
Yeah.
But not legitimate chances, if that makes sense.
Sure,
they'll be able to host first-round playoff games, and they'll be able to have cool environments, and they'll be able to play at really cool sites in December and there will be, I don't know if Cinderella truly exists in the college football playoff the way it does in the NCAA tournament, but a Cinderella-esque run might happen sometime. And that's if injuries, if things go the right way for what Cinderella would be like the group of 5 or Notre Dame.
Honestly, Ohio State last season might have been the biggest Cinderella you're going to see.
Yeah, you mean the lowest seed to make it? I'm
saying it's and Ohio State certainly not a Cinderella, but as far as their seeding goes, you're not going to see a 12 seed win the championship. I don't think, or an 11, or a 10, or 9, but we saw an 8.
Yeah, the idea that Oregon went unbeaten in the regular season, beat Penn State in the Big Ten championship, and their reward for all of it was a bye and then Ohio State
in the Rose Bowl. Yeah,
that was not great.
No, it's not rewarded. I'm just saying. I think that it's the Cinderella. Ohio State might have been the biggest Cinderella you're going to see in the college football playoff. Might have been.
Which is a wild thing to think of because Ohio State will never, ever wear the glass slipper.
No, they won't.
But the Buckeyes...
They've got 3 slippers.
Yeah, they've, again, got probably the nicest shoes of anybody in the country right now, and that's
It's a Nike swoosh on it.
It's a good one.
Yes.
Yeah. Oregon, Penn State, we'll discuss, tell you kind of what's going on in Happy Valley. And then we're going into the fourth quarter in Athens, Alabama, and Georgia. All of that coming up next. It's College Game Night on The Fan.
For years, you've been hearing us talk about the Newman Roofing difference, delivering nothing short of an excellent customer experience each and every single time, from the first phone call to the end of your project. But don't take our word for it. Take a listen to our friend John and his Newman Roofing experience.
Well, the first thing that drew me to Newman Roofing is the extraordinary Google score of 5.0. That was the first indication to me that this was going to be a good experience. Overall, the experience with Newman Roofing was wonderful. When I came home, the job was completely finished. The crew had cleaned up and left. I wouldn't have known that they were there.
What star rating would you give Newman Roofing on Google?
I would, without hesitation, award Newman Roofing a 5-star rating on Google.
Any advice for those looking for a new roof, John?
Once you have contact with Newman Roofing, you'll understand why everybody's giving them a 5-point rating.
Do what John did and schedule your free roof or siding consultation with Newman Roofing. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online today at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax. And not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
The The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to Fan College Football Game Night.
Losing a battle with my sinuses here.
I blew it.
What'd you do?
Look, I was ripping Georgia. I thought it was the fourth quarter. Now it's the fourth quarter.
Now it's the fourth quarter. They're going into the fourth quarter in Athens.
Phil pointed it out to me, and I appreciate that, Phil.
Alabama leads 24-21.
Right, but Georgia's going to win the game.
Maybe.
I'm just saying it. There we go. Let's speak it into existence. Do I have a parlay with Georgia? Maybe. I'm just saying that I think they will. But thank you, Phil, for pointing it out.
Cheering with your wallet.
Cheering with my kid's college fund.
That's extra important.
By the way, kids don't. If Georgia doesn't win, there's no breakfast and lunch tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's brunch. You get brunch. We're not getting breakfast and lunch, though. I'm just telling you right now, kids, if you're listening, go to bed. But you won't get both if Georgia loses.
Right now, Oregon's up 17-10 on Penn State.
It's in the sixth quarter. I don't know. I can't read anything. I'm blind.
It's 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Sure it is.
I thought.
You're confident there?
Yeah. Okay. Well,
no, I mean, you're confident it's the fourth quarter. I guess is what I'm saying.
I'm 100% confident it is the fourth quarter in Happy Valley.
Thank you.
Interested, Tito, that Oregon's wearing the white uniforms.
It's a whiteout.
In the whiteout?
Oh, wait.
For Penn State?
Whiteout for Penn State.
I don't particularly love what Oregon's got in terms of their design, but
game day today, all the guys were white.
Except for McAfee had like a yellow.
McAfee had off-white, yes. But you see what he did at the end of the... First of all...
I did not.
Okay.
I'm not watching those pregame programs anymore. I watched the one with Corso, and I told myself, I don't need any of this anymore.
Right. So the kid made the field goal. It was the kid. So the first 300 people go into the game day. Sorry, I'll do this real quick. First 300 people get tickets, and they draw one out to kick the field goal. Now
they got to do a better job scouting that because I think he's hit every week.
Well, you're allowed to give to someone else. You're allowed to say, "Hey, I want this guy to kick for me." And so the guy today had another person kick for him who played high school soccer and said the kid said he had never ever kicked a football before, and it would have been good from 50. And they split $300,000 to two of them. Anyway, end of the show. McAfee takes off his off-white he had on to say, I'm pure white, and showed his white chest like he does, and said, I'm picking Penn State in this game. But, yeah.
He was the only one I think that picked Illinois, too.
I think he was.
But, yeah, these, like, I see the social media reactions to the stuff on Big Noon.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've got Barstool in the Portnoy crowd.
Right.
And from what I see, little bits and pieces, keeps pushing me to the idea or the notion that Ohio State needs to tell the Big Ten to dump Fox. Because this has not been a good relationship with Fox and forcing Ohio State to do 6 Big Nooners last year and then putting Texas, Ohio State at Big Noon and then trying to tell James Franklin that a whiteout at noon is the same as a whiteout at night, and it's not.
It's not.
And for Fox to put Portnoy on and to have him do his clown show about Ohio State and in big, like he picked against Ohio State today, against Washington, and said in situations like this, Ryan Day doesn't do well. And it's like, have you seen what Ryan Day's done in the last 7 games against AP top 10 teams?
Reeser, it's the same way.
It's a circus that Ohio State doesn't need to be attached to.
If you and I don't know if you know people like this. I know at least one person, though, who married for money.
I understand the money's great now.
They married for money.
I think when the TV deals come back around, you can get money and you can get a better partner.
No doubt. Yes, you can. Get out of it as quickly as you can.
You can't leave Fox now. I understand that.
Yes.
But when you can start to get back to the table to renegotiate, you tell Fox thanks, but no thanks.
Or you say thanks, but only one Big Noon game, or we want to be able to have more.
I guess you could write it into the contract if there are enough zeros on that check from Fox.
Yes.
But I'm not sure that if you want it to maybe go ESPN, NBC, and CBS, that would do better for you as an Ohio State that constantly carries water for this conference.
Yeah, look.
To have to be dealing with Fox and their circus.
I've said all along, look, Northwestern, Purdue, they are sucking at the teat of Ohio State.
And that's why you had Top Gun Teddy a couple weeks ago say, well, when we redo this deal, we're getting we're doing the revenue distribution based off of eyeballs.
There is no reason why Northwestern should get the same amount as Ohio State in this deal. There is no way in hell that should happen.
And that just, cooked my grits, so to speak, this morning when I saw just all this.
I thought you were earlier.
Reaction on social media that you don't need if you're Ohio State.
Right. It's ridiculous.
I understand why they would ask Dave Portnoy to not come into their stadium.
Sure, so do I.
Do his stupid, circus.
Yes.
Because you're trying to be a serious operation, and even the numbers have shown on FS1 with their nonsense in the morning.
Right.
It's not and also Fox Sports as an entity.
Yeah.
We could, do an hour on their missteps over the years. Like, it's a reason they've shuffled their executive lineup several times.
Numerous times, yes.
So, yeah, Fox, pound sand. Respectfully.
Okay.
Like, the idea to me that you're also playing Minnesota at 7:30 next week on NBC. At least it's NBC. But I was thinking back to the OU game, and that's a 7 o'clocker at night.
That's got noon written all over it in past years.
Why
I know.
are we doing this?
I know.
Why is Ohio State having to keep making room for other nonsense?
Look, the Big Ten.
You get no night games outside of the college football playoff.
The Big Ten agreed to it, and Ohio State's part of the Big Ten. And Ohio State should have
Kevin Warren joint.
Yes, that was a Kevin Warren thing. But it has certainly benefited the Big Ten and Ohio State financially.
Tito, did you know that the Cleveland Guardians are the first team in at least the live ball era to win via walk-off hit by pitch on the day they clinched a playoff spot?
I did not know that. Are you Jason Stark? Because
no, this is Sarah
baseball.
Langs on Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah, Elias Sports Bureau had the stat. CJ Kafis gets plunked at the dish with, I think, runners in scoring positions. And
it's amazing.
Walks it in for the the bases were loaded. Walks it in for a 3-2 win over the Texas Rangers. So
that was in the ninth inning or 10th?
In the ninth inning.
Okay,
Bottom
so
of the ninth.
it wasn't like
was
the
not extra innings of the Ghost Runner, which I go back and forth on the Ghost Runner because it's benefited the Guardians in recent weeks.
Right, yeah.
And it's been a thorn in the Guardians' side in recent months. But I go recent months, I mean like June and July when I thought they were dead.
Yes, they were dead. 0% chance.
They were trailing by 10.5 games at the beginning of the month. Now they have one win and your AL Central champions. I believe it's gone final for the Reds and the Milwaukee Brewers. Cincinnati gets the 7-4 win. I think if Cincinnati wins tomorrow,
they clinch
a playoff spot.
They do.
If they lose and the Mets win, I think then the Mets go.
The Mets are in, yep.
If the Mets and the Reds lose, the Reds go because the Reds have the season tiebreaker
they do.
For that final NL wildcard spot. We'll have Reds baseball over on the Fan 2. That's 1460 on the AM dial.
Also in my house. So if you want to come over and listen to it there as well.
You can go over to Tito's.
Yes, it'll be on there and also in Casa de Tito.
Because your Steelers are playing the
9:30 a.m.
Dublin game at 9:30 in the morning.
Kid's got a 10 a.m. flag football game.
So is it sorry, kid? I got to watch my Steelers. I got to watch my Aaron Rodgers.
It'll be on my phone, and I'll have one AirPod in, and also coaching because it's important. And then my daughter's got like a noon field hockey game, so sucks to be her also because I will have an AirPod in with Red Zone on.
Good dad. Good job, Coach Dad.
Yeah, I've never claimed to be a good dad. I'm a dad.
We've got Browns football will be on the Fan starting at 11 o'clock.
I'll be listening to that.
Tyvis Powell on the pregame coverage there. None taken. They're playing the Lions in Detroit. They don't have a tackle. Thayer Munford's going to see some NFL action tomorrow trying to protect Joe Flacco as DeJuan Jones is out for the year. Jack Conklin's, I think, a couple weeks away.
Conklin, who knows? Yeah.
You never know, right?
Right.
Because when you put him back in and then something else happens, it sucks, right? With injuries and being that age, that size, you never guaranteed anything, especially for a guy of DeJuan's size. I know he's young, but the last 3 seasons, his season has been over when he's hit the injured list.
Very early on, it's been over, yes.
And I know it was a helmet that exploded his knee, and everybody's knee goes down in that situation.
Absolutely does. It's a bad luck situation.
I do have a Joe Flacco question for you, Tito.
Let's hear
I will ask you next. It is, I guess, college game night on the Fan.
Get Eco.
ECO.
We come through for you when you need us to.
Our scuba diving plumbers can do anything.
Increase your water pressure.
Give you unlimited hot water.
Fix your drips and leaks.
Soften your water so it doesn't leave spots.
Install a whole house filter.
Replace your shower heads and faucets so your house looks brand new.
And provide you with winning lottery numbers.
Get Eco.
ECO.
They cannot provide you with winning lottery numbers.
I can.
Tell us.
3, 21, 24, 34, 46. That's $103 million.
Those numbers will be this week's winners?
No, those were the winning numbers a month ago.
Get Eco.
ECO.
But EcoFi Advantage is a guaranteed winner.
For just $28 a month, EcoFi Advantage covers all 3 systems.
Plumbing, electrical, and HVAC.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Scuba diving plumbers, genius electricians, and incredibly handsome HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
The football season now stretches from August to late January, and we can't afford not to be at our very best all season. Hey guys, it's Eric Reeser, and if you're like me, looking at the calendar wondering how you're going to stay at 100% for the next 5 months, do what I did. Go see my friends at Hydrate Me Med Spa. I went to their Grandview location, got hooked up with a fast vitamin push that's got me feeling better than I have in years, and the NAD Plus has me thinking better too. From IV to aesthetic treatments, look great, feel great at Hydrate Me Med Spa. 4 locations, Grandview, Granville, New Albany, and Dublin. Book your appointment at hydratememedspa.com.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront costs before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on money line, spread, totals, player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
My name is Katie. I'm a Spectrum customer for mobile and internet, and I grew up on a farm and ranch in Nebraska, so I'm always cowgirling. Cowboy culture, you never want to pay more than you have to because there are so many expenses that go into farming and ranching. To have any efficiency on the farm, you need extreme connection and reception. I bet we save about $180 a month with Spectrum, and that's $2,100 for the whole year.
Real customers, real savings. Visit spectrum.com/save. Real customer testimonial, compensated, not scripted.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Accurate Heating and Cooling and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Two jabronis talking football.
Thank you, football god.
No better way to spend a Saturday. This is Fan College Football Game Night.
Yeah, I was going to ask you a Joe Flacco question, Tito, but we're going to have to table it for a couple minutes because Penn State's right now at the 11-yard line. 2nd and 3 for the Nittany Lions. I think they did the 2-minute timeout with 1:47 left to go in the fourth quarter because, they have to.
Sure.
But you've got, a little
2-minute warning, 2-minute timeout.
2-minute timeout. Can't call it the warning.
Nope.
Be warned.
Yep.
They trail 17-10. So Penn State looking to punch it in. You obviously don't go for it. You tie it up. You see if you could take this with extra with Oregon at the very least. But I'd be proven wrong if Penn State's able to erase what would have been a 14-point deficit. Because I thought even 7 points for Penn State felt insurmountable with how little they were doing offensively for the entire game.
Franklin gets outcoached, you would assume.
Yes. In a situation where the death ray is pointed at the planet, James Franklin is maybe one of the last people I call and say, hey, coach this team to save the world. Dan Lanning's maybe one of the first because I have great respect for how he was able to bring Georgia to Oregon.
Yeah.
And yes, it does help you have the Phil Knight war chest. But the fact that he merged the two and they've been a national contender. They've still been on that trajectory to where sooner or later Oregon's going to punch through and win a national championship. I can't say the same with Penn State or James Franklin, but they are getting back to it from the timeout or from the 2-minute warning.
Got to tell you,
warning.
The Flacco question's got me.
I'm getting to that, but Alabama right now leads Georgia still 24-21. You got 7 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. Georgia has the ball, but they are at their own 15-yard line trying to drive. For the Cleveland Browns, in a game you can hear tomorrow on the Fan with coverage starting at 11 o'clock, when do you think it would be time to bench Joe Flacco? In a game where you don't have an offensive tackle, you got Thayer Munford and a couple of guys whose names you probably have never heard of.
Right.
You've only heard of Thayer because he played at Ohio State. You can't protect him. He's going to stand in the pocket like a statue. Running the ball is only going to get you so much. But if you do think that you have to have a quarterback that gives you the best chance to win, would you be able to argue for Dylan Gabriel?
Okay. Best chance to win is still going to be Flacco.
But that chance, I think, diminishes with every hit because he isn't going to get protected.
I would, as soon as you feel like you have a competent offensive line, then I would bench Flacco.
Well, then Flacco's going to be the Browns quarterback forever.
Maybe so. I'm saying, but if there's something you can pick up, if somebody gets back, I'm saying, as soon as you feel like these guys, this offensive line is not terrible, then I think you play. Right now, if you play Gabriel.
You're saying at no point in tomorrow's game are you pulling Flacco?
I'm not. Not tomorrow at all. No, I'm not. But look, I'm with you. I think Flacco should be benched this season at some point.
You have to at some point, yes. I agree.
The worst thing the Browns can do is go into the draft not knowing if Gabriel or Shadur Sanders is capable of being your starting quarterback.
I said at the beginning of the year that was the one thing the Browns had to know at the end of the season.
What they got to do
is Gabriel or Shadur is one of those your future at that position because you got 2 first-round picks.
Yep.
And I would like them to use one on Caleb Downs and the other on a not quarterback because I would like them to have the quarterback of the future in the room. No, not you, Deshaun Watson. You stay away, Deshaun.
No, Deshaun's but they have to, and so that's what I'm hoping, like in the second half of the season. I don't care if they go Gabriel starting a game, then Sanders, then Gabriel,
I can't do
Sanders.
That. I hate that.
I'm okay with that. I just want to, they're auditioning. You want to know what you've got.
No, I got to give my quarterback, if I want to truly see what he's got and give him the best chance to develop, I've got to give him more game. I've got to give him consecutive games. I need game, you play it, see how it goes, and then you get the tape, you get the week to fix it, and then you see how you do in the follow-up.
But you want to know. You want both to play, right? You want to know.
I want both to play if Gabriel can't hold off Shadur.
Okay.
Yeah. If Gabriel can play well enough to where I don't need to see Shadur, then I'm fine with it. Penn State has also tied the game up.
They did.
I was wrong, and I'm okay to be wrong.
You're not wrong yet.
Well, I didn't think Penn State would come back from this, but they have. So I was wrong in that instance. I still think they'll blow this.
So do I.
But I would like to be proven wrong because I do think at some point Penn State's got to help with Ohio State and all of these big noon kicks. And the only way Penn State can help with that is if they stay number 3.
Well, Penn State, Ohio State will be noon.
I know.
They will. They'll be noon no matter what happens
Ross
here.
even inferred that before the season.
Yeah, it'll be noon no matter what happens here.
But other games, I mean. And so for James Franklin, you've got to win this one because then you've got to stack, right?
Right.
And so for this season, right, you're getting Ohio State in the big games. You're getting those at noon. But I mean for next year.
But
I think it would be 26, 27, 28. Those 3 seasons, if I can get Penn State, because they're in the same time zone as Ohio State,
right,
to be just as good as the Buckeyes nationally with national interest, then that helps, right?
If Oregon wins this game, you have the chance of Oregon undefeated, Ohio State undefeated in the Big Ten championship.
Sure, great.
But if Penn State wins, you don't have that.
I want the Buckeyes and the Nittany Lions unbeaten when they meet each other in Columbus
I would love that
on
too.
November 1st.
As somebody who's trying to sell us 4 tickets to that game probably to make money.
Yeah.
That's
fair. Yeah, but you got to send your kids to college with something because it's not your gambling winnings.
It's actually covered my gambling losses, but okay.
There you go.
It's not related with the kids' college fund. That's not going to benefit from that at all. Because if Alabama ends up beating Georgia and Penn State ends up beating Oregon, kids are getting brunch tomorrow. And by brunch, I mean French toast at home.
Nothing wrong with that. What would you say you make best for your kids for breakfast or brunch or lunch or dinner?
They want chocolate chip pancakes.
Smart kids.
But I make a really good French toast.
Okay.
Stepdaughter loves French toast that I make. French toast and bacon and that kind of thing. Yeah, but my kids are more about, they want the chocolate chip pancakes. By the way, it's more chocolate chips with pancakes.
Yeah, no, the pancakes are just the vehicle for which you
yes, that's what it is.
Ingest chocolate. So you'll have the 9:30 game tomorrow. On Monday, for some reason, they've got the Cincinnati Bengals.
They've got 2 crappy games on Monday night.
I hate the Monday night doubleheader like that.
No, dude, listen. Reeser.
I'm listening.
Every week, they should say the hell with Thursday night and have a 7 o'clock Monday night start and a 9 Monday night start and have 2 games on Monday nights.
Okay, I can get to that more than I can a 7:15 start between the Jets and the Dolphins and then an 8:15 start.
They're crappy games.
They're an hour apart.
I understand that. No, that's bad.
I'm saying,
though, I'd rather have a doubleheader on Monday night and no Thursday game.
Yeah, I could do without Thursday night football.
You know what I mean? I would just do that and have a 7 o'clock. 9 o'clock would be anybody's central time zone or further out west.
Okay.
And do that. So you've got plenty of options, obviously, there. I would do a doubleheader on Monday night every single week and kill the Thursday game.
I do think you're going to start to get Thursday night doubleheaders.
I don't want that.
Okay, that's probably
we can't have that.
Because I think Goodell either last week or 2 weeks ago was saying they're already going to start to renegotiate the NFL media deals. It's it's not up for 5 years, man. But
I'm going to do it. Yeah,
because he can. Yeah. Because you got $20 million for $20 million for regular season games is insane numbers. And the idea that the college, it was the CBS Sports Classic that they're doing in Atlanta with Ohio State, with St. John's, with Kentucky
and North Carolina.
North Carolina, and the Buckeyes are playing. It's like a 3 p.m. tip.
Yeah.
And they're going up against the college football playoff.
Right.
And probably NFL.
Right. I know.
Do home and homes if you're CBS and you want to do Ohio State, North Carolina, or you want to do St. John's in Kentucky. Yes. Go to home and homes.
You can call it whatever you want to call it.
You can call it the Classic.
Yeah, it's a Classic.
You can still do the Classic at Rupp Arena. You can still do the Classic at wherever St. John's plays.
Yeah.
Still do that.
You can do that, yeah.
But you just make it so sterile.
I know.
And then you put it up against college football playoff.
It's not going to do well.
Who's going to get killed by the NFL?
Yes. It's not going to do well.
Because you even got college football playoff games that are going to be sublet on TNT.
But listen to the games on the fan.
My sinuses.
Listen to it on the fan.
Well, the Buckeye games on the fan, of course.
Fan, yes.
Absolutely.
But watch other stuff. Yeah, I'm not going to watch Ohio State. I'm not going to listen to Keels and Ronnie Stokes.
Oh, RIP to the Houston Astros.
Oh, yeah,
You've been officially eliminated from playoff contention. They're still playing a game, but they're dead.
They are dead. Hard to believe.
So, but nice to know.
Yeah.
Cleveland Guardians have the chance.
God, what would this state be like if we had an I-71 World Series?
It is Ohio State football season.
I know.
So it would take a back seat to that.
It would?
It would be great for the 2 cities, but us here locally.
All right. So
when do the Buckeyes play?
Let's say Penn State is the November 1st game.
Uh-huh.
Is the World Series done before November this year?
Yeah, I think so.
I know it's played November before. I don't know if it's gone
early, so you might have that Saturday, Sunday. Maybe they play Monday and Tuesday of the next week.
As long as it's done before November 1st, it'd be great for the state.
Well, we are done until next week. We will see you at noon because it's a night game on the Fan.